What an amazing day of college football, guys. We've had some great games out there today. A lot of upsets, a lot of blowouts, a lot of close games. And just as I was sitting here getting ready to go on, Penn State beats Michigan State, gets the land grant trophy back at Penn State. So, hey, great day for college football. Glad you guys are with us. Got a super chat coming in here. Thank you for that, King Sebastian. 49 super chat says Neil Brown the stud, 5-7, 6-4, 6-7, 5-7. We know what that means for next year. That's right. We're going all the way, 3 to 5 wins. Let's go. That's what it seems like, don't it? Here's what I think. I think Neil Brown's a good coach. Don't get me wrong. I think he needs to be a better coach, but I think he just needs some more money so he can hire some coordinators, because they're only giving him $3.5 million or something like that. That's not a lot of money in today's football. You're not going to hire any good coordinators. So maybe it's not completely on Neil Brown. Maybe it was on Shane Lyons. Maybe Shane wouldn't come off the money to give Neil Brown to hire coaches. And, we got stuck with Jordan Leslie as a defensive coordinator and Matt Moore as an offensive lineman and Washington as a defensive backs coach and things like that. Because we had to get the smaller names out there to help run a program. So that could be the big problem. Hopefully, a new athletic director, if we keep Neil Brown, hopefully the new athletic director throws some more money in there for him and says, hey, go and get some good coordinators, because we need that in a bad way. Let's go over some scores from today with you guys. Let me refresh my score list here, because I've had it up for a while, and I'm sure that some of these have gone final and some of them have changed. So let's see. All right. Let's see. We've got Iowa State 14, TCU 62. So no problem for TCU. They remain undefeated. Taking down Iowa State. We all kind of figured that would happen. So TCU definitely in the Big 12 championship game come next week. LSU, nothing. Texas A&M, 7. First quarter, 4 minutes left. So Texas A&M ahead of LSU right now. I think a lot of people are calling for an upset there. I'm one of them. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think Texas A&M could upset LSU. We've got Ben coming in with us here. Sporting with Ben and Sam. What's going on, Ben?
Fuck you, Joey. Fuck you.
You got some. So Ben's got he has the in Mexico right now doing a dealing with that Mexican internet, aren't you? Having a hard time with it.
Yeah, it's been random, so that's why I was like, if I drop out, don't be alarmed. It's just it's been kind of sporadic, especially on my laptop. My laptop for some reason.
Yeah. I'm going to go over these scores with everybody real quick. UCF is beating South Florida right now, 14-0, first quarter. Maryland 37, Rutgers nothing. That game's about over, if it's not over already. Louisiana 27, Texas State 13, third quarter. Southern Miss 20, Louisiana Monroe 10. That's fourth quarter. Middle Tennessee 20, FIU 7, App State 13, UNLV 17. Syracuse nothing, Bob Scholars nothing, Tulsa nothing, Houston nothing. I took Tulsa in that game today. Okay, Oklahoma nothing, Texas Tech nothing. That game's getting ready to kick off, or it's already kicked off. I'm watching it here. Notre Dame and Southern Cal are kicking off right now too. Tennessee, Vanderbilt also kicking off right now. And Kansas State and Kansas will be kicking off at 8 o'clock. Some more kickoffs later. They got Pitt and Miami at 8. Air Force San Diego at 8, and so on and so forth. All right, now Georgia took down Georgia Tech today, 36-14. Should have been a lot bigger score than that. Georgia kind of struggled for a while in that game. Michigan 45, Ohio State 23. Big upset, huge upset. I think we all knew the upset was possible. We all knew Michigan could beat Ohio State, but nobody figured they beat them that bad. So that was
is that an upset? Is that really an upset? I mean, that was last year repeated, basically.
Yeah, not really an upset, but I think a lot of people figured Ohio State would win it.
Not my picks.
TCU and Iowa State, I already mentioned that game. Alabama 49, Auburn 27. Alabama had no trouble there. South Carolina upsets Clemson 31-30. And hey, I called this game. I mean, a lot of us did after South Carolina had a big victory last week.
I picked the Gamecocks in this one, so
yeah,
they're on a roll.
I did as well, and won a little bit of money on it. Glad I did. Oregon State took down Oregon. I also took Oregon State in that game, 38-34. So Oregon, they're out of they're in the Big Pac-12 championship game now, aren't they?
Not entirely. We went over this huge scenario. There's a 3 to 4 way tie now. So there's a bunch of stuff that has to happen. But if one or two teams lose, Oregon still goes. It's kind of weird the way it worked that way. First-year head coach, aggressive play calling, should have taken points. It's a rivalry game. It's just the way it happens. I mean, it was hard to watch because kind of let that lead slip away. But, hey, you move on.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's how it works sometimes in football. Penn State 35, Michigan State 16. I told you about that game. Utah all over Colorado 63-21. Kentucky takes down Louisville 26-13. A lot of people thought Louisville would beat Kentucky. I did not. I wasn't one of them. Western Kentucky 32, Florida Atlantic 21. And we'll let the rest go because they're just the smaller teams. So we've got some good games going on right now. I'm watching the Oklahoma Texas Tech game because I'm a Big 12 guy. But I will go over to the USC game. And I'm sure Ben's probably got the USC game on there, don't you, Ben? Do you have the USC game on, Ben?
I do not currently. I kind of turned everything off. Again, I'm talking with Ty Guy. I'm trying to meet up with him again tonight. So,
you guys are on the meet up.
I'm looking at Sam going, hey, can you look up this address to see how far we are? Exactly. Wait, hold on.
So I'm going to give a shout out to the stream. Shout out to the chat.
You're good. You're good. Keep going, Joe.
How you doing, Sam? All right, shout out to the chat here. Thanks for being here today. Quentin Cotton, appreciate you being here. Sam Bostic, Alan Aaron, GC. Greasy says, crazy day so far. Yes, it has been. Trying to hold on down here. I got things popping up on my screen. Jonathan Easel says, go blue. And they went. Blue went, that's for sure. King Sebastian here and give us a super chat. Appreciate that, buddy. Justin Brown, he says, I feel a big video coming. Yep, I do too. Gene Ream says, how do you think the
Oh, well, we lost Joey, apparently. How does that work? I don't know if I'm live right now. I can't see the chats. I don't have control of this. Oh, damn, I was about to
I don't know what happened.
I was about to take
I don't know what happened, but
on West Virginia all the whole night. I was like, what?
Yeah, StreamYard threw me out. Get back up here, see where I was here. Yvette's in here with us. Thanks for being here, Yvette. And she's moderating for us in the chat there. Justin Brown, how about them dogs? Dogs should have done better if you ask me. Come on now. Just incredible. Hope we're all watching the war on I-4. I don't know what you're talking about there. Clint Moss, go Beavers. Thanks for being here, Clint. Going down through here, see what else we got. I think I've shouted out everybody that's here. Maybe not. Maybe not. I may have missed your name. Oh, Todd Wynn, also WVU. Woohoo! Yes, that's right. If I missed your name, I apologize. Sandra Green, thanks for being here. If Washington wins tonight, it's a 3-way tie. Oregon beat Utah. Washington beat Oregon. Utah and Washington didn't play. And who goes to the title game? Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at the scenarios because honestly, I didn't figure Oregon would lose to Oregon State. Now, I thought it could happen, but I didn't think it would happen. So I didn't look at the different scenarios in the Pac-12. Pac-12 is real confusing this year because there's a lot of people that can win it. Sort of like the Big Ten West was there for a while. You know, it was really confusing.
Yeah,
So
you look at the Pac-12 too. I mean, Oregon 9-3 now. Beavers are 9-3. Washington basically is going to be maybe potentially 9-3. Then look at USC, even UCLA. There's a lot of good teams right now in the Pac-12. This is the most heaviest, so to say, roundabout that we've had in years. Usually it's just one or two teams. So it's not shocking in a way.
So Todd Wynn says, thanks for the Gamecock support. Mostly we are always looked down on. Hey, I didn't look down on you. After last week's victory, I thought you guys would probably take out Clemson. I just didn't think Clemson's been a good team all year. And I said it when they went into South Bend, they're going to get beat by Notre Dame. And they did. And then this week, I picked against Clemson. And it turned out to be true. I just don't think don't get me wrong. They're a good team. They're not an elite team like they usually are. So that's where
look at NC State just upset North Carolina. The whole ACC in general has taken such a huge hit on these random games this year. It's I don't even know what to make of the conference. Like the Pac-12, okay, we eat ourselves alive, but there's some really strong teams. Then you look at the ACC, they just knock each other off completely.
All right. Now, here's a question. Gentleman Gamer says, do you think Ohio State will be considered as one loss, or did they lose by too much and not have a chance for another win? So here's what I think. I think Ohio State's still got a chance to get in. They just got to have some help. So in other words, LSU definitely has to lose because now LSU's going to be ahead of them. So LSU definitely has to lose in the SEC championship game. That'll help them. But then Alabama will jump Ohio State. So that'll hurt them. So I don't know. There's still some football to be played. TCU could lose in the Big 12 championship game. They'd be knocked back, which could help Ohio State. So I don't think Ohio State's out of it yet. TCU won today, big time. Now what will happen next week in the Big 12 championship game? That's yet to be seen. So we'll have to find out. So Ohio State's not dead yet, in my opinion. CKS says, how many times should we post this? Wash wins it in Utah. Wazoo wins it in Oregon. Plain enough. Let's see what he said. Washington wins. It is Utah, okay? And if Wazoo wins it, Oregon. All right. So that settles that. Washington wins, Utah's in. Wazoo wins, Oregon's in. Okay, CKS. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Appreciate the help there. Todd Gwynn says Southern Cal would have to lose also. Yeah, that's true. Southern Cal would have to lose also. So, now Southern Cal could lose tonight. I think Notre Dame's going to upset Southern Cal. That's me. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I know a lot of people do not. But one of my upset picks this week is that game. We've had some big upsets today, so it's not going to be a surprise to me if that's another one. Justin Brown says, hey guys, this time around, everyone watch out for scams on tickets. They're going around bad. But if you have legit ones, I'll definitely take them. Yes, Justin Brown, exactly right. Guys, there are some serious scammers out there right now for tickets, saying they got tickets to the SEC championship game, and it's great seats, and they give them to you at great prices. It's scams. Bottom line, it's scams. So watch yourself. Watch yourself real close. If you're going to get a ticket from somebody, I suggest you go to somebody that you can trust. If you want to check with people in the SEC, I would check with maybe on Uncle Lou's channel. Go to Uncle Lou. Look for Sir UGA. If you want an SEC championship ticket, I would go to Uncle Lou's channel. Search out his chat for Georgia fans, Alabama fans, things like that. Most of them in there, 99% of them, I'll know them, and they're pretty legit people. So, if you're wanting tickets to something like that, just make sure that you're good, because there are a lot of scams going on out there. And we ran into one today. And unfortunately, the scammer didn't show up in here like he told me he was going to do, because I was going to throw his ass under this bus. So we had a scammer contact me, said he had some tickets someone to sell. Asked me if I knew anybody that might want to buy them to the SEC championship game. I told him I didn't have any interest in it. I'm a Big 12 guy, but I'll ask around. So I posted it on my Twitter and asked around and stuff, and somebody contacted me, and I said, hey, I'll get you in touch with them. I don't know anything about the tickets, don't know anything about the person. I'll put you in touch with them. Turns out it was a scam, and they did take this person for a little bit of money. Luckily, not the full amount, because they refused to send them the full amount, but they did take them for some money. Watch yourself, guys. Scams are out there big time right now with tickets. So, and I know it's awful because you're like, so my only option is to go to Ticketmaster and pay upwards of $1,500 up for a ticket to the SEC championship game to be guaranteed a decent seat. Yeah, probably so. You just can't trust anybody right now. CKS says USC's already in the Pac-12 championship game. Yeah, we know that. And Ty Guy's on his way to his brother-in-law's to meet Ben. Yeah. So everybody in the chat, tell me any game today that surprised you, shocked you, you're happy about, whether or not you're happy about it or whatever. I mean, I don't know of any surprises today, in my opinion. I didn't see any surprises. I thought what happened today was pretty much what was going to happen. There was one surprise, and that was that Georgia kind of let Georgia Tech hold them back for a while. I figured Georgia would just come out and blow them away from the start, and they didn't do that. But I mean, I understand Georgia Tech's playing for something themselves, so but that was a real surprise to me. Michigan blowing out Ohio State like they did. Yeah, pretty surprising to me. They can't stop the run, that's for sure. Michigan just run all over them. So that was a sad showing for Ohio State. Yeah, Justin says, unfortunately, it was my relative Ruby who it happened to. Yes, the scam. Yes, and I don't know Ruby, but I have talked to her, and yeah, she's a nice woman, and yeah, it's a bad situation. I hate it, and I wish that scammer was in here because I'd love to throw his ass under this bus. But he didn't show up. Promised he would, and he didn't show up in here. That's why I went down to the chat trying to read everything to see if he was here. But if anybody comes in this chat later wanting to sell you tickets, probably that scammer. Happy West Virginia won. Wasn't really surprised that South Carolina went to Clemson and beat them. I thought they could. Yep, I did too. And it didn't surprise me that West Virginia won today either. Oklahoma State's a bad team. They've gotten worse through the year. And then when I heard that their quarterback was not going to be playing, and they had a freshman quarterback, I knew we had it won then. Yeah, they were without Spencer Sanders. So, a legitimate excuse for losing the game for Oklahoma State. But it would not have been a legitimate reason to lose it for West Virginia had they lost that game. So, glad West Virginia did pull it out and win the game. Probably was actually a little bit closer than it should have been. Sandra Green says, glad that Oregon State beat Oregon. Yeah, I am too. I really am. I'm not a what you call a Pac-12 fan or anything, but I root for the underdogs. And Oregon State, they've been an underdog for quite a while. So I'm going to put the StreamYard link in the chat. If anybody would like to come in and join me, you're welcome to. You do not have to be on camera, but you will have to turn your camera on in the back room. When you come in to the stream, have your camera on for me because I will not bring you in until you show me on camera that you're a legitimate person. But come on in. We'll talk some college football and hang out, watch some games. Oklahoma's up 7-0 on Texas Tech right now. It's still early, of course. I just think that Texas Tech is going to run all over Oklahoma. And I could be wrong. Sam Bostic, SEC went 3-1 versus ACC this weekend. Yeah. And, Kentucky had a good win against Louisville today. So that was good. Chris DeSisson, I am on the fence about Brown. I was sure that I wanted him gone, but now that I think about it, all the young talent we have and Rodney Gallagher coming in next year, I'm okay if he does. Yeah, we got to watch this though, because Rodney Gallagher is taking some visits. He's going to visit Pitt. I think he's going to go visit Penn State. So does that mean he's opening his recruiting back up? Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't look like he's going to decommit from West Virginia right now. But, he's taking some visits. And I think if Rodney Gallagher flips, he's going to flip from West Virginia to Notre Dame. That's what I think. But I don't know that he's going to flip, so don't quote me on that. But I agree with you. We've got some young talent coming in, a top 30 class right now. It would be great if Neil Brown could see it through, and let's see what he can do with it. Silas says, Chris, I know I'm kind of the same way, and it's odd. Yeah. Sandra Green says, me too, Joey. Underdog fan, especially this time of year. Yeah, I love underdogs. Got to root for underdogs. Silas said, Joey said it for weeks, bring him back. Yeah. So, I think Neil Brown's a good coach. I think that there's room for improvement, that's for sure. But I gotta consider this. Shane Lyons wouldn't give the man any money to spend on coaches. We have one of the lowest paid coaching staffs in Power 5, $3.5 million across the board for 12 coaches? That's pretty low. When you figure that just other schools pay their offensive and defensive coordinators $1 million, $1.5 million each. If we did that, we wouldn't have nothing left for any of the coaches. You still got strength coaches, defensive back coaches, offensive line coaches. So they need a bigger pool there, a bigger pool of money. And maybe Neil Brown will hire some coaches and fire his buddies. That's what we all say, fire your buddies, right? Krista says, my biggest concern, and maybe taking care of the assistants will take care of it, but my biggest issue is how undisciplined we are. I agree. 100%. It is sad. What was it today? We had a crazy delay of game penalty after, what was it, a pass interference or something? Then it was stoppage of clock, and they was on sidelines talking. They come back out and get a delay of game. Just silly. I don't understand that at all. I agree with you, Chris. And it could be assistant coaches, but you have to put some on Neil Brown. That's for sure. Sandra Green says Notre Dame over USC. I agree. Clint Moses, Educate Marshall, go Beavs. And Gary Hunt. Hi, everyone. Welcome in, Gary. Glad you're here. All right, so that game went to commercial. Let's go over here and refresh these scores and see if we've got any score changes here. It's really hard for me to do these streams with the TV behind me. So you guys have to bear with me. I can only bring these games up. Right now, Southern Cal leads Notre Dame 7-0. And LSU and Texas A&M are tied at 7. Tennessee leads Vanderbilt 7-0. Hey, there's a game I think could be an upset. I'm not saying it'll happen. That's a good chance for Vanderbilt to upset Tennessee today. Second quarter, UCF 21, South Florida nothing. Maryland 37, Rutgers nothing. Louisiana 34, Texas State 13. Middle Tennessee 20, FIU 7. App State 23, Georgia Southern 17. Nevada 13, UNLV 17. Syracuse nothing, Boston College 10. Oklahoma 7, Texas Tech nothing. Tulsa nothing, Houston 7. Come on, Tulsa. Please. Man, I'm rooting for Tulsa today. Sorry. It's a Dana Holderson hatred thing. So Gary Hunt has tickets for sale. Gary Hunt, tell us about your tickets you've got sale. Yeah, so Gary's here. So how about that? All right, so let me bring this up and show everybody something here real quick. I'm gonna share a screen with everybody. Let me go down here to share. I want to show this to everyone here real quick. So, show you what he's got. So Gary's the one that I was telling you about earlier in the chat with the tickets for sale, right? This is a receipt where Ruby paid him $350 for some tickets. He don't have them. There are no tickets. Gary, you're a scammer. Get the hell out of my chat. Somebody put him out now. Get him out of here. You're a scammer. Get the hell out of here. Don't contact me anymore. Oh, man, I hate a scammer. Don't take him up on any of these tickets, guys. He's a scammer. So Ruby is out the money, thanks to him. So Ruby's trying to find some good tickets for her dad for the Southeast Conference Championship game. Anybody wants to go to the Southeast Conference Championship game, please okay. Did somebody block Gary Hunt for me? Okay, good deal. Gary Hunt, don't come back in here no more. We need ever to talk trash talker in here for Gary Hunt's what we needed. Yeah, I agree, Silas. What a bum. Yeah, Gary, I mean, I can't believe you do that to people. It's ridiculous. So if anybody asks you if you want to buy tickets, please, whatever you do, make sure that you check them out. Don't send no money so you can verify that their tickets are real. We got Kenny coming in with us. What's going on, Kenny?
Oh, not much, brother. How about you?
I am doing good, man. I am doing good. Post a link in the chat one more time for people. If anybody wants to come in with us, there's a StreamYard link. Trying to keep up a chat here a little bit. Remy Johnson, for the first time, I'm a Husky fan. Okay. Justin Credible says, YB got a scam and troll. They have no life, apparently. Exactly. Roll Tide says, bad big dog. Tanner Rogers, St. Neil Brown will fail his evaluation. That Gee said will take place after the season. Yeah, he'll fail, but do they have time to hire another coach? All right, so they haven't got an athletic director yet. They're going to let the athletic director hire a coach. Bottom line. Athletic director comes in, in a couple of weeks, or, let's say he takes over here in 2 weeks. That's going to be too late in the season to hire a coach. You got a new class coming in. Yeah, he's going to get another year. Neil Brown will get another year.
No, I think they need to fire him right now. If they fire him right now, the new AD can come in and bring his own person.
Well, he may not be ready to hire his own person, though. You don't know who it's going to be. He may not have it.
More than likely, I think it's going to be Patrick Chung.
So Todd's asking me what game we have on. I've got on the Oklahoma game, Oklahoma and Texas Tech. I know that's not a big game, but I'm a Big 12 guy, so I'm just kind of watching that game a little bit. Todd said, "Die-hard Mountaineer fan here. Great win today." I'm waiting on the camera to come on. There we go. Marauding Mountaineer.
Not
man from
Joey.
Japan. What's going on? Now, let me ask you a question. I thought you was leaving Japan. Are you still there?
I'm leaving in a few weeks.
Oh, okay. I
go back on the 20th. I go back on the 20th. So I gotta.
I bet you can't wait.
I gotta go. In a way, it's kind of a good thing, and I'm kind of sad about it. I like being here. Wonderful country. There ain't no place like home, though.
No.
Ain't no place home like Mountaineer home.
Gotta take me home to the place I belong.
Did you get to watch the game today? Did you get to watch the game?
That I did. Though of course it didn't mean much in terms of getting to a bowl because that ain't happening, unfortunately. It's a matter of pride in a way because Oklahoma State had this like home game winning streak snapped by us and beating both Oklahoma teams in 1 year.
That's unheard of.
That's a win in my book.
Oh yeah.
Now, Mike, I don't agree with what you're saying in the chat. He says TCU wins out there in Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Ohio State. No, Ohio State's out.
Yes.
Ohio State's done. They're not done, but they're out for now. They need a lot of help to get in. But USC's out no matter what. No, USC is in ahead of Ohio State right now. I'll tell you that right now.
My prediction: it's going to be Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Alabama.
Alabama.
Yep.
What makes you think Alabama? I want to hear
because of the loss of Clemson, because they were ranked 7th in the poll. Plus the loss to Michigan and Ohio State. That's 2. And then let's see, who else lost? There was another team that was up there that lost.
Let me check. Let me pull up ESPN here.
I think if Tennessee loses, then that automatically puts in Alabama.
All right, Justin, can you turn your camera on a second for me?
Who else lost?
All
Georgia
right,
beat Georgia Tech. Okay, Michigan crushed Ohio State. Oh boy.
TCU. Hey Justin, go blue. Go blue.
Go fucking blue, baby.
TCU. I think TCU deserves to be ranked 3rd now. If Michigan gets bumped up to 2nd because they beat Ohio State.
Right.
So then that would give you Clemson lost to South Carolina. Alabama thumped Auburn in the Iron Bowl. I'm gonna steal a quote from SEC Shorts here. Iron Bowl more like a glorified scrimmage.
Yeah.
Oregon State beat Oregon. So that knocks Oregon out of playoff contention. Oregon, I don't even think had much of a chance to begin with. Penn State beats Michigan State, of course. Maryland shuts out.
In the playoff rankings, though, Alabama's ranked 7th. So if Tennessee loses, that automatically puts in Alabama.
Okay, I can see that, especially because the playoff committee seems to love Alabama. They love them.
Michigan man coming in saying Michigan is winning the Natty.
No,
I wouldn't count on that. I don't think anybody's going to beat Georgia, to be honest. Georgia's going to be the odds-on favorite, and I don't see anybody beating them.
That depends on if Michigan beats Purdue.
Sure.
Show me most of the bowl committee will have Missouri versus Kansas.
Who knows? It'd be funny,
right?
But that'd
be something if Purdue knocks them out of the Natty.
2007 level. It'd be 2007.
Doesn't look like Texas Tech showed up to play ball today.
Was not a good year.
Let me go to another game. It doesn't look like Texas Tech showed up to play ball today. Oklahoma's winning 14-0. Texas Tech having fun out of their own end zone. I might as well go to a game that's a game. What y'all want? Notre Dame, USC, or Tennessee, Vanderbilt?
Tennessee,
Vanderbilt.
Tennessee still. Vanderbilt's doing a good job holding off Tennessee. I'm surprised.
All right, I'm gonna go to that. Because I know everybody's gonna keep up with the USC game. So I'll try to keep
right
up
now.
with
It's
Tennessee.
4th and 4 for Tennessee. 4th and 4 for Tennessee on Vanderbilt's 30.
All right. Yeah, we'll try to keep up Tennessee game for you guys because I know everybody's keeping up with the USC game.
Tennessee 7-0.
So it's 7-0 Tennessee right now. It's 2nd and goal.
And it looks like it's gonna be 14-0 Tennessee.
Yep.
And
maybe, or it could be 10-0. Oh, it's the Vandy 4. Okay, they have a big run.
Wow, they did a power push there. So it looks like it's 3rd and goal from probably the 1 yard line. Yeah, 3rd and goal from the 1 for Tennessee.
USC fumbled, but then they got the ball back somehow.
Michigan man says Georgia doesn't look dominant. Yeah, Georgia didn't look good today against Georgia Tech, but you have to remember that's a big rivalry. That's a huge rivalry, and rivalry games, players get up and play. So Georgia Tech played their heart out, and unfortunately it only lasted 1 half for them. You know, they kind of got blown away in the 2nd half. So, but
rival games, even the losing team can win.
They still didn't make it
in a rival.
They still didn't make
That's
it.
True.
4th down.
Look what happened to South Carolina and Clemson.
Yeah.
Goal line stand by Vanderbilt. Krista
So,
says
Joey.
if West Virginia would let Brown go, who are the best options still out there? Tom Herman or Paul Christ? Okay, I don't know if people would like Paul Christ at West Virginia because he would slow the game down so much, and we're so used to a high-flying, fast-paced offense. Tom Herman would be good. Another one that I think would be good would be Charlie Strong. I like Charlie Strong.
And Hugh Freeze. And Hugh Freeze, because Hugh Freeze ain't going to Auburn.
No. I think Lane Kiffin's going to Auburn.
They got in.
No, Auburn.
No, Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin said that he's going to stay at Ole Miss. Okay. I heard stories of
Matt Rule's
I heard stories. Right. I heard stories that Hugh Freeze is being talked to by Auburn, and they've done shot that down. Hugh Freeze don't want to go to Auburn.
Hugh Freeze ain't knocked it down. He said that he's talked to him. He said
yeah, 6 hours ago.
He said he's not been offered.
6 hours or 7 hours ago, Mark said that
I saw a flight pass from Lynchburg to Morgantown.
So he's been talked to, but he's not been offered yet. He did say that in his post-game remarks today that he's not lying. He did talk to Auburn. They have been in discussions, but there's not been an offer. They've not offered him a job or anything. Hugh Freeze said that today. So
he said anything about
West Virginia? I don't know. No, he didn't say anything about West Virginia.
I think
he'll be coming to us. Trust me. If we offer him, he'll be coming to us.
I said this in chat earlier during the West Virginia-Oklahoma State game. I want you all to imagine this. Imagine what we could do. Coaching staff, Rich Rod as head coach, and just out of coaching staff, doesn't matter position, Jamil Adai and Pat White, among others.
Well,
imagine what we could do.
Okay, I would rather have, instead of Pat White, because he's not proven anything yet, I would go with Clint Trickett. Clint Trickett's proven it. He's the offensive coordinator at Marshall right now. He's been a quarterback's coach at a couple of schools. He's kind of worked his way up the ranks, and he's at Marshall right now. So I would be more happy about Clint Trickett coming as a coordinator to West Virginia than I would Pat White right now. We're coming as a coach. That's me. As far as Rich Rod, no. Rich Rod would not be good at West Virginia again. I'm telling you. This fan base, there's so many people that hate him. He would have very little support in the state. And we're talking about how Neil Brown wouldn't fill a stadium. I don't know that Rich Rod would fill a stadium. Oh, he might the first time, so people could throw things at him. But that would probably be the only time he'd fill the stadium.
Maybe.
Honestly. Voodoo says West Virginia win did nothing for me to make me want to keep Neil Brown. So Golden Voodoo does not want to keep Neil Brown at all.
No.
Neither do I.
I don't. A lot of people in the student body back in Morgantown don't. They're like, Neil Brown is a problem. He's a good guy. Don't get me wrong. Wonderful man. Wonderful man. He's just not a right fit here.
No. He's not verbal. He's not verbal with the team players. You got to be more interactive with them, and you got to be able to fire them up. And look at how they come out every game this season, flat.
Anemic.
That wouldn't have happened with Rich Rod or somebody like that. That wouldn't have happened.
Well, Bill Stewart,
we'd have been fired up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if Bill Stewart was alive,
so that game,
I would say
right now, so Tennessee's out a big lead there, 14-0. Let's jump over to the Kansas State game and see what's going on there. Another big rivalry game, Kansas State. Kansas State's by far the better team, but rivalry games, you never know what can happen. So
14-0 Tennessee. Oh boy.
Yeah, Tennessee scored. So, all right, this game's
Tennessee wins.
Right
they
now.
locked, in my opinion.
They're locked for what?
Playoff.
No.
Yeah.
They're not even going to be playing in the SEC championship game. They're not locked for playoff. They got 2 losses.
Maybe
so does LSU.
A struggle win 2 overtimes against Pitt. So.
And we all know how.
And LSU same way. I mean LSU, if they can beat Georgia, they're in, but they're not going to beat Georgia, so that doesn't make a difference.
You never know. They
Sanders
might.
says Big
If
Ten's
they
the cream
do,
puff
that's a.
conference.
If they do, all I gotta say is hats off to LSU. But right now, they're losing by 3 to Texas A&M.
Yep.
Lane
If they
Kiffin.
lose,
Remember,
if
Texas
they lose to
A&M.
Texas A&M, there is no possible way that LSU gets in.
Yeah,
No possible.
Absolutely not.
Lane
Yeah, this is
Kiffin
the
just
same
signed an
Texas A&M team
extension.
that's lost some bad games.
What?
Do what?
Lane Kiffin just signed an extension just right now.
Oh yeah,
at
he
Ole
signed
Miss.
that. He signed that yesterday. He signed that yesterday evening. His extension. Yeah, that's.
Hugh Freeze was
Who y'all think's gonna win between these last 4 games that haven't started yet? Pitt, well, these according to ESPN. Hold on, let me refresh the page. Pitt, Miami, Air Force, San Diego State, Washington State, BYU, Stanford.
okay. So Air Force is favored, but I'm taking San Diego State. I think San Diego State will win it. Pitt will beat Miami. If they don't, if they don't, something's wrong. And what was the other two?
Washington State, and Stanford, BYU.
I pick
BYU
Washington
should beat
State for upset.
And I think Washington will win that game, and then I think BYU will beat Stanford.
I think Washington State will upset Washington.
Yeah, I got Washington State.
Alongside,
all right, so Kansas State is
football.
beating Kansas 7-0. They just kicked off to Kansas. So Kansas getting the ball for the first time in the game. Kansas State went down and scored.
Alongside college football, y'all been keeping up with the World Cup?
Dustin, I muted you a second because there's a lot of noise coming out. Just unmute yourself when you come back. I'm sorry. What was that you said?
I said alongside college football, y'all been keeping track of the World Cup?
Not really. I've watched a little bit of it. I've watched U.S. and England battle out for a tie. First time that U.S. has shut out a team since 1950. So that's pretty good. Too bad they couldn't score a point and win it. But
no, they had opportunities, but they just didn't capitalize. Who does that sound like? Now that I think about it,
we need a better striker, though.
Yeah.
Krista says, did anybody see that Neil Brown was on the list for UAB job? Yeah, Chris, I've seen that. But now, will he take it thinking he's probably going to be fired next year? He might, because I think there's really, but I doubt if he will. I doubt if he will.
I think Neil Brown already sees the writing on the wall. He's made practically an enemy of the fan base. People in Morgantown are already talking. They're like, we want him gone. And not just like ordinary residents of Morgantown. I'm talking about a good chunk of the student body of WVU. And if that boosters. And the boosters. And if that doesn't spell disaster, I don't know what does.
CKS, no, Ohio State's not eliminated from the playoffs. They just need a lot of help now. You know,
and
LSU
some boosters are threatening to take their money back if he comes next year.
Silas says Brown wants to coach Nico next year. Well, I doubt he does.
Yeah.
Jacob,
thank you for the $5 super chat. I've been doing a lot of thinking. Give Neil Brown one more year. If you lose one game, you're fired. Yeah, well, I think if he gets one more year and he can go 9-3, I think his job would be safe. But
I think I think that's good. But I'm just reading the super chat and it makes me think, well, if we lose to Penn State, then he's fired.
Yeah. And that's game 1. So Sam Bostic says Tennessee is doing one thing on the football field that Louisville couldn't do in men's basketball. That is using a hooker to win. Yeah.
Think about this, guys. Think about this. Hugh Freeze refused Auburn. Why?
Well, I mean, he's a small town guy. He's like
he didn't refuse
kind
Auburn.
of vibe.
He's not refusing Auburn. He said he's not been offered a job. He said, I've been in talks with them, and that's fine. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. We've been talking, but they've not offered me a job or anything yet. So
I've done seen a tweet out, Joey. I've done seen a tweet out that said that Hugh Freeze botched the job hire.
Well, hell, stop the presses then. If there's a tweet out, a tweet is nothing. I mean, really. Watch his post-game press conference. He says, I ain't lied to my players. I ain't lying to the university. I've been in talks with Auburn, but I am not. I've not been offered a job, and I've not been offered any money yet. So we haven't gone that far, but we have talked. So, it tells me that if Auburn would come with an offer, because he's already said, I would be crazy if I didn't talk to him. If they come with an offer, I'm going to talk to them. So,
I mean, if I was in the same position, you got that SEC money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Liberty's technically an independent, but for all intents and purposes, they're a group of 5 school. Compare that to SEC money.
J.J. Marshall says there's a tweet that says Michigan and Georgia are the best teams this year. So, yeah, we might as well quit everything. Just let them two play now.
College football playoff settled.
Yeah, that's what I settled. There's a tweet about it. Really, seriously, those tweets mean nothing to me. I pay no attention to Twitter. That's the worst.
Joey, I don't know. I saw a tweet saying Vanderbilt's going to the SEC championship. So,
yeah.
Maybe next year.
CKS says Notre Dame isn't looking up to the task. Well, we'll just have to see. I mean, it's early in all these games.
Bill Winston says West Virginia has had the toughest schedule in the country this year.
They've had a tough schedule, that's for sure. Probably not the toughest schedule in the country, no, but they've had a tough one. They have. But now, if you think about it, one of their big games was TCU, and they got them at home. So that kind of knocks that out of being a tough game. We're going on the road to Pitt.
I think
that counts. And
USC is beating Notre Dame. It's 10-0.
Yeah,
I think we were in the top 15 for the toughest schedule,
and it'll only get tougher next year.
Oh yeah, because we got Penn State, and then we got Pitt coming to our house.
We got Happy Valley. We got to go to Happy Valley first time in 30-something years.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. That used to be a big rivalry, I mean, we called it a rivalry. I don't know that Penn State really called it a rivalry against West Virginia. They kind of dominated us.
Yeah, it's like, hold on, let me look. I think on Wikipedia it says like 49-9-2.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of dominated us. I mean, I went to a lot of those games back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Believe me, they dominated us. But now,
that's when we were independent.
We had some good wins. We had some good wins over them. They in 1988 they were 15th in the country, and we were beating them 35 or 42-0 at halftime, 35-7 at halftime. It was bad, lopsided.
Yeah,
we've had some good wins.
Penn State leads 48-9-2.
Yeah.
Last time West Virginia beat Penn State was in Morgantown. We were ranked 7th, 51-30.
And
here goes Kansas going for the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas. Tied it up. Kansas
what year was
Kansas State?
That was 29th of October, 1988.
Yep, that was the year Joey was talking about.
So I wasn't even in a thought yet.
Yeah, in '88 we totally annihilated Penn State.
That's when we had Major Harris as QB.
Yeah.
And then our last game against them was 24th of October, 1992. Penn State was ranked 14th. They won 40-26 in Morgantown.
Yeah. And the next
we didn't have a good team.
We didn't play them.
No. Last time we
went undefeated, but we didn't play them.
The last time we beat Penn State in Happy Valley, we were ranked 14th. It was 19-14. The 16th of October, 1954.
Wow.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Way before I was born.
way before I was even a thing. My parents weren't even alive then.
I wasn't even a gleam in my mommy's thought.
So J.K. Marshall has he's been in the chat. A while ago he ate a ribeye. Now he's down on some delicious Polish kielbasa. Wow, you're just eating away, aren't you? Now I had New York strips for dinner. That was my dinner.
I'm making this. I bought this at the convenience store, but I'm making this for lunch later. It's a pork cutlet. Really good stuff.
Oh, okay.
But what?
Michigan man says he's eating Buckeyes for dinner.
I don't blame him.
Don't eat Buckeyes; they'll kill you. They're poisonous. Seriously.
And Jason says Kenny is lying.
I don't know.
I'm lying about what?
I got a question for y'all. What if we do, by some miracle of Almighty God, beat?
I'm lying about what?
Happy Valley.
If we do beat Penn State in Happy Valley, oh man, I'd be really happy about that. But now here's the thing about it: Penn State's going to lose a lot of players off this team.
Yeah.
So we've got a good chance. But now, how many are we going to lose because of the transfer portal? We're a young team. I ain't too worried about it. If we hang around, we're going to be really good next year. We're a very young team. So next year could be a great year for us. Now, I think we could beat Penn State, but that just means that all of our players have to hang around. I do think Goose Crowder is going to enter the transfer portal. Simply because he's seen no playing time, none whatsoever. And today they put Nico in instead of Goose. So I think the writing's on the wall for Goose. I think he's going to be out of here.
All right. Mumu is transferring.
Mumu's transferring. Yeah.
I honestly hope Neil Brown, if he magically stays here, tries to get those boys to stay back in Morgantown. If we had the squad that we do this year, including, of course, like all things considered, fresh season, no negativity on the part of the players, I think we could handedly beat Penn State next year. Handedly.
So,
but
the actual answer to your question is what if West Virginia beats Penn State? Well, Silas actually answered that question. He said Joey burns a couch. That's right. Yeah. Joey burns 2 couches. If we beat Penn State at Happy Valley, Joey burns 2 couches.
I don't care. I don't care if it's going to be if I'm still going to be in Morgantown next year or not. My couch is going to get burned.
Jacob Yoho, thank you for $2 super chat. He says Neil Brown and Penn State home field, we will lose bad. Yeah. Well, all I hear from Penn State fans is how bad James Franklin is. They hate James Franklin.
Do they hate
now,
James
I don't know
Franklin
why. I think James Franklin's a good coach.
That's a big question.
So, maybe the only thing that's going to help us is, like I say, if the players will stay, we don't lose too many transfers, maybe bring in a good transfer or two that's got some good Power 5 experience. Sure up that defense, hire a new defensive coordinator. That will go a long way next year, and we would have a chance against Penn State then, I believe.
We need to get Jamil Dye back. I mean, some people may.
Michigan man, G Boone says, Michigan man, enjoy it. You've not won in Columbus since pre-19, since pre-9/11, back in 2000. Yeah.
Yeah, we won back-to-back, 1999 and 2000 with Tom Brady and what the hell is that guy's name? Drew Henson.
Back-to-back in the shoe. You won back-to-back in the shoe?
No, we won 99, I think. Was it 99 at the shoe and then 2000 at the big house? Yeah, no, I mean back-to-back. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's first. We haven't went back to back against Ohio State since '99, 2000, and then we haven't won in the shoe since 2000.
This
And
Kansas
that,
State Kansas game is pretty good, guys. It's still tied up 7-7, but I mean, it's a good game.
You know what? I wish we get some really good transfers. We need to be, comparative to last season, of course, very aggressive in the transfer portal, like incredibly so. If not, like SEC level aggressive. I mean,
They ain't gonna say nothing if they see me smoking online, will they?
I smoke.
yeah, Joey lit up a cigarette earlier. You're fine.
How you know it was a cigarette? I sat there and smoked.
Because I saw it. I got eyeballs, Joey.
I did smoke a cigarette. I smoked the other stuff earlier.
Yeah.
CKS
Well,
says,
Joey-
half a minute, folks. Michigan is in the Big Ten driver's seat. Well, of course they are, yeah. Who's out of the West? Who won the West? Dustin, who won the West?
Purdue.
Hogwin says puff puff pass.
yeah, Purdue
So now
won.
Michigan just got to beat up on Purdue.
What if they lose to Purdue?
Hey, that's a good chance because Michigan has struggled.
Absolutely hilarious.
Michigan has struggled. There's a chance that Purdue can beat them.
Well,
What
think
if they
about the
struggle
turmoil
then?
then.
What'd you
Michigan
say?
About that.
struggled.
The turmoil
We've
then.
struggled.
Yeah.
Struggle with.
Yeah, we
There's
struggled
a good
today
chance that
real bad.
Purdue can possibly upset them.
Maybe. A Michigan man says Purdue trash, LOL, blowout. Easy
It won't
Big
be a blowout.
Ten championship.
It'll be a nice first half, just like every game this year, and then Michigan won't let them score any points in the second half.
Mm-hmm. J.K. Marshall says
Oh,
game
I don't
Defense,
know.
it's a great
Michigan
day.
got a little banged up today.
Yeah, speaking of
Michigan got a little banged up today with Ohio State.
What are you talking about? We didn't even. We were banged up before we started playing the game today. We were missing one of our top defensive linemen. Obviously, Blake Corum played one play or two plays. Sorry. And we ran for 247 yards in the second half. Scored 27 points and allowed 3 at the shoe against Ohio State.
I do give you credit.
Jacob,
Going into
thank you for
Ohio
the,
State,
$2.
going into Ohio State to the shoe and winning, that is a big accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob
Super
Yoho,
chat.
thank you for the $2 super chat. He says, give Neil Brown some cigar weed. He might coach better. Yeah, that might help. You might be on to something there. Somebody else said something up here. So Paul Gee says, great day. WVU wins. Ohio State loses. Bad day for the ACC. Yes, it was a bad day for the ACC. Real bad. Louisville lost.
LSU's losing
Clemson
now.
lost. Yeah, a bad day for ACC. Yeah.
10-17.
What's the Pitt and the other game look like, Joey?
Pitt Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. K-State just scored again,
currently
14-7.
It's up 7-0 on Miami.
Yeah.
LSU is overrated, getting beat by a 4-7 team. Paul Gee says. Of course, we all know LSU's overrated.
J.K. Marshall said earlier, rooster emoji, Gamecocks, rooster emoji. All I gotta say in response to that is Beamer ball, baby.
Let me go and let me refresh some scores, and I'll go over all the scores with you guys again. All right, let me bring your scores up. All right, here we go. Some pressure on scores. LSU 10, Texas A&M 17. Notre Dame nothing. Southern Cal 10, Tennessee 14, Vanderbilt nothing. Kansas 7, Kansas State 14. UCF 28, South Florida nothing. Rutgers nothing. Maryland 37. Middle Tennessee 27, FIU 21, App State 37, Georgia Southern 31, Nevada 16, UNLV 17, Syracuse nothing, Boston College 10. Boy, Syracuse is falling apart. Tulsa 6, Houston 14, Oklahoma 14, Texas Tech nothing, Pittsburgh 7, Miami nothing, and Washington State kickoff at 10:30. Wasn't Air Force and San Diego State supposed to kick off at 8 o'clock?
I think, yeah. Supposed to kick off at like 9:30. They're not showing me a
score for that game. They're not showing me
unless they
for that
cancel.
Like 11. It was supposed to kick off at like 11:30 Japan time. So hold on, let me check the schedule on ESPN. 11 a.m.
10:30.
Yeah, 9 p.m. is supposed to kick off.
9, okay. Carissa, the science goddess, says this whole season has been a season of upsets. It has. It has been.
Yes.
There's been a lot of upsets. There's been a lot of upsets you didn't expect. Look how good the Sun Belt's done out of conference when they play Power 5 teams. Sun Belt's done really good. I mean, if you think about it, Appalachian State, Liberty beat Arkansas. Appalachian State beat Texas A&M. Marshall goes and beats Notre Dame at Notre Dame. I mean, there's been some big upsets this year. That's for sure.
Who's you guys' Heisman front runner after today? Well, not after today, but as of right now.
This has probably been the most
UFC
disconnected
quarterback
year for me.
USC quarterback.
Year for me as far as the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, I think Caleb Williams has it to lose right now. Yeah, he's dicing up Notre Dame already.
Caleb Williams
I think he wins it
last year, so.
I think if Corum would have played today, he would have been. I think he still goes to New York, but he's not going to win it.
No, it'd be Caleb Williams winning it.
That's the way it's looking. CJ Stroud threw it away today.
Sam Bostic says if Vandy wins versus Tennessee, they'll go to a bowl game. That they will. A wonderful observation.
But I don't think they will.
If they do,
Tennessee will come back the second half.
If they do, I'm going to be on Twitter for a good while. I'm going to be laughing.
So USC quarterback, best quarterback in country, Paul Geese says. Yeah, Caleb Williams is really good.
Yeah, he does.
T-Boone
Texas
says,
Tech quarterback.
Paul Geese. Do what?
TCU's quarterback.
Number 2. I think he's number 2.
What's his name? Shit. Damn it. Can't think of his name.
I got a missed call here. Hold on one second, guys.
What did most these SC receivers do?
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Paul Geese says Caleb Williams Heisman Trophy. Yeah, I think it. I know that a lot of people are going to think of. I think a good quarterback is Stetson Bennett. I do. Now, I don't think he's going to be a Heisman by any means, but I think he's a good quarterback.
I think the TCU quarterback is number 2.
Yeah, definitely. Drew Ferguson says, are you all surprised that the Nebraska hire of Matt Rule is Nebraska's next head coach? Absolutely not.
No, I think we all knew that was happening.
I think it's going to be a bad – I think that's a bad fit for Matt Rule.
Matt Rule has brought Baylor out of a hole. Nebraska's in a hole. I can kind of see it. I mean, if you're in a hole and there's a guy who's got a track record of taking teams out of the hole.
Yeah, he's a builder.
You got to get the guy who's good at taking you out of a hole.
But I think he's going to struggle with the boosters there at Nebraska. Nebraska ain't going to want to pay.
Maybe. Paul Gee,
it'll be fine.
Why doesn't WVU go after Hugh Freeze? I don't know.
Well,
if they have been and just not telling us.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what they've done on the back end of things, but I tell you right now, they're going to let the athletic director hire a coach if I just don't see them making any major moves right now without an athletic director.
No,
They could
especially
surprise
like
me, but I
firing
don't think so.
firing Neil Brown. President Gee's already said that that's not happening until we get a new athletic director. Reason being, because he touched upon this too. He's like, reason being, that's the AD's call to make. We're going to get a new AD. When we get the new AD, we're doing a whole review of Neil Brown as a coach, which he'll most likely fail.
And by that time, all the good coaches are gone. We might as well stick with Neil Brown.
Neil Brown will most likely end up being out the door.
JK is asking how much Rule is going to make at coaching at Nebraska. That's not been disclosed yet. I would say probably around $6 million to start, and then probably be bumped up to $8 million as his contract goes on. Probably a 4-year contract or something, starting with 6 and then at 8 or something like that.
Yeah, he'll be somewhere around 6 to 8, and then he'll have a whole bunch of like incentives. So if he goes to a bowl game in his first year, he'll get a big bonus. Shit like that, kind of like Harbaugh's.
Paul Gee says Gordon needs to hire a good AD and bring out the brooms.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, he does.
Well, see, if they was to fire Neil Brown,
I've got Yvette taking care of that for you, Ben. I just got your message. I'm sorry, and she's in there doing that for me.
But if they could fire Neil Brown tonight, and it wouldn't affect what the AD does.
No.
Because our season is over.
Yeah. We've got nothing else to do. Besides, the team's probably already back from Morgantown from Stillwater.
So Gordon Gee has no reason where he couldn't fire Neil Brown tonight.
No. He's just choosing not to. Because he's like,
And Christy, yes. Christy, yes, that's possible. I mean, we might wake up in the morning with a new athletic director at West Virginia. We don't know. But, will that athletic director come in and his first order of business is to fire Neil Brown? I don't know that if he wants to make that his first order of business or not, really. Like his first order of business might be to want to evaluate, watch a few practices, watch a few recruiting, watch a little bit of meeting Neil Brown, get to know Neil Brown, see if he's his kind of guy. I mean, I don't think they're going to jump right in and fire.
Having talked to President Gee in person a good number of times, knowing what the guy is like, he's very, very proactive in a way on what exactly he wants to do. When he fired Shane Lyons, I don't think he was just going into it and not having a plan. Like, he's got a short list. Whether anyone in the media or anyone within the university administration knows who is on that short list, I don't think anyone knows that but Gee. But Gee knows who he wants, and Gee will try his damnedest to get him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%, Tanner.
Like, that's just how he is as a person.
I don't think we will, Todd. I don't think we'll know about Brown on Monday. I don't think we will. I don't think we'll know about Brown at all. I think that discussion's already been had. There's already been a statement, just like we talked about, by the university. Neil Brown's not going to be fired. That's going to be up to the new athletic director. So I don't think we find out nothing Monday. I know the fans are on the edge of their seat wanting him fired. I don't see it happening, guys. I just
calling for blood.
Yeah.
I think that ESPN was a smokescreen, and I think that's the reason they did that, so that smokescreen would be out there so nobody knows what we're going to do. And I really believe that Neil Brown's days are numbered.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's all the signs are in Morgantown. Neil Brown's days are ticking. It's just not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When Krista says, I think it could be Mullins for AD.
I think Patrick Chung is Gee's first choice.
Most likely.
So let me do a score update real quick. Texas A&M leading LSU 17-10 still. USC 10, Notre Dame nothing. Tennessee 21, Vanderbilt nothing. So Tennessee's starting to run away with that one. Kansas 7, Kansas State 14, UCF 28, South Florida 7, Rutgers nothing, Maryland 37, Middle Tennessee 27, FIU 21, App State 38, Georgia Southern 31, Nevada 16, UNLV 20, Syracuse nothing, Boston College 10, Tulsa 6, Houston 17, Oklahoma 17, Texas Tech nothing, and Pittsburgh 14, Miami nothing. So,
And
that's the score
to be
update of the games
honest
going
with
on
you,
right now.
to be honest with you, I think Patrick Chung should be hired because I know that he has connections with different coaches, and I think he's going to pull in someone that will have to possibly buy out, but he will do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Bo
gonna
Stacker
get
says
my phone
Mullins
here
would be
because
first choice, and it isn't even close.
I've
I
got
would
an actual
disagree.
text that I got the other day. So I got a text the other day about who OSU was looking at, and
From an anonymous
let me
source.
find it here. I won't give my source, but I will tell you this: my source is very, very reliable because I've got a source at West Virginia University.
An anonymous source. Was it besides me, Joey? Who could it be?
No, I got plenty up there. Believe me. Let me. I got to find where I've got it because I.
J.K. Marshall says sources. Source.
All right, the two names
Amen.
that are coming out that West Virginia is interested in right now. That this is the two names that they are really looking at: Matt Borman from LSU and Rob Mullins from Oregon. And Rob Mullins is the heavy favorite, as what they're telling me. So that's who they're telling me: Matt Borman from LSU or Rob Mullins from Oregon. That's what I was told. Now, how accurate that is, I'll tell you this. They told me night before last, Matt Rule was being hired at Nebraska. They confirmed it yesterday morning, long before anybody found out about it. They confirmed it for me yesterday morning, sent me a message. Matt Rule has signed with Nebraska. And this was 5 hours before it came out in paper, before anybody knew about it. So that's how my source is. They're a pretty good source. Now, are they ever wrong? No, I don't think they haven't never steered me wrong. Not one time have they ever steered me wrong on anything. So I will say that. I mean, they told me Shane Lyons being fired, which I told y'all about that a week before it happened in this show on a Sunday. 1 week before it happened, I told you Neil Brown's not on the hot seat. Shane Lyons is on the hot seat. Shane Lyons is going to be fired. And everybody, I mean, that was probably the most blowback I got on a video ever that I've done, a live show. I got a lot of blowback. I had text messages, calls all day, emails from people telling me I was crazy. Shane Lyons ain't going nowhere. I said, hey, I'm just telling you what my source told me. A week later, he's fired. Now, this is the same source telling me about these two guys. So take it for what you will. It don't matter to me if it's believed or not. But that's the two
Mullins
names
would be a grand slam for sure, says Bo Stacker. Yeah, I could see that.
Hey, Ryan Day might have a opening here in the next couple days.
Kansas just scored. According to what Paul Gee has said in chat. Kansas 16, Kansas
Yeah,
KS.
that's 16-7. I've not been keeping up with the game very good. And Kansas State's got the ball driving again, so it looks like Kansas State's going to run away with this game now. It was looking like a good gamer for a while.
I don't know if ESPN's behind or what, because I'm on ESPN right now. It says that Kansas State's 14-7.
They're just behind because it's 16-7, and Kansas State's driving again. Let's see what's going on with LSU Texas A&M here. Put that game on for a second.
Still winning. That's my bet.
See what's going on there. And I hate that my office is all still messed up. I've got to get this TV, my computer, I can see it.
Well, guys, I'm
They're
going
at
to jump
commercial.
off here and let someone else come on.
Okay.
All righty.
All right, Kenny. We'll see you later, buddy.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, and Paul, that's a big thing. It's changed. Should never give a Neil Brown a pay raise. Agree 100% with that. Agree 100%. Anybody want to come in? Let me put the StreamYard link in here for you guys. If anybody wants to come in with us here.
Bo
like
says,
I say,
I
you
wish
don't have to be
Christopher
on
looks
camera,
like Freeze
but
is
you
going to
gotta-
Auburn.
You have to be on camera in the back room so I can see that you're a real person, and then I will bring you into the stream. Then you can turn your camera off. It doesn't make a difference.
A real person and not a scammer.
Yeah, a real person. Yeah.
I don't think Freeze is going to Auburn just yet. They haven't offered him anything. We've been touching upon that a lot. But the probability of Hugh Freeze going to Auburn is kind of up there. Whether he goes to Auburn or whether he goes to WVU or whatever the case may be. Hugh Freeze is looking around.
Paul Gee says he's from Salem, Virginia. I was born in Beckley, West Virginia, but grew up in Roanoke. So, right there. But yeah, I grew up in Roanoke, Virginia, and then moved back here to West Virginia right when I was getting ready to start high school. So I didn't really grow up per se, but I mean, went through middle school and elementary school in Roanoke. Went to Monterey Elementary School and Breckenridge Junior High in Roanoke, Virginia.
My dad's family's been in West Virginia for near 300 years. But then my granddad moved out to Maryland, so then he was born in Maryland, and I was born in Maryland. But just because the hospital, they were like, hospital kind of so we're gonna go to Maryland, and then they went to Maryland. I was born in Maryland,
I went to Woodrow Wilson. I went to Woodrow Wilson High School in Beckley.
Ever since I came home from the hospital as a baby, grew up in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Go Bulldogs. That's where I went to elementary school, intermediate school, middle school, high school. Now I go to WVU. Used to play football.
I went to
touchdown Notre Dame.
Woodrow Wilson High School in Beckley, the Flying Eagles, home of the Flying Eagles. So that's where I went to high school, and my wife went to Independence High School in that. Well, it's considered Beckley, I guess, Coal City, that area.
Yeah.
WVU Mountaineer River.
I think I remember seeing. I think I remember actually seeing Independences in the state playoffs. Not at the double A or single A level. I don't remember. Something like that.
Paul Gay says you guys killed Southern Virginia's best team in 4A.
Salem, best team in Virginia's 4A. Who did? Who's you guys?
And Hillbilly asking me if I'm related to Jesco and Sue Bob. Don't know who that is, so no. I have no idea who that is.
I think that's a joke.
I think it is too. You don't like my country accent, do you? I didn't always have this country accent. I didn't, growing up in Roanoke, of course I didn't have it. And then I come to Beckley and I didn't really have it. I've only developed that probably the last 5 years. Gotten really thick with my West Virginia accent. And it's because of I don't live in any city anymore. I live in the country. I've got property in Kentucky. I've got property in West Virginia. All of it's in the country. All of my properties are a long way from civilization. My property in Kentucky, as a matter of fact, it's an hour and 20-minute drive to the closest Walmart. It's 45 minutes to the closest grocery store. And so, it's out there. My property here, if I want to go to a decent sized grocery store, it's an hour drive. If I want just a grocery store, I can get there in about 20 minutes from where I'm at. So, let's see. Parkersburg South versus Huntington in AAA championship. Who are you picking?
Yeah. I thought Martinsburg won. Honestly, and then I found out they lost. Nah.
Hillbilly, my Kentucky property is located in Isonville. I used to own property down in Kentucky, down in Liberty, but I don't have that anymore. But I still own in Isonville, Kentucky. So actually, it's near Grayson, right outside of Grayson. If you know where, if you don't know where Isonville is. Paul Gee says Martinville whoops Salem, Virginia, has won 10 out of 14 state championships here in Commonwealth. Yeah, you bet put it in Grayson, Kentucky. Leonard, that's a good question. Anybody went to a West Virginia football game? I've been to so many, not even funny. I mean, I've been to a lot. My father and I used to go to them. It used to be, before they built the bridge, the New River Gorge Bridge in West Virginia, for us to travel from Beckley to Morgantown was about a 5.5 hour trip. And it was a miserable trip because it was up and down mountains and around through valleys. And when they finally got that bridge opened up and we could make it to Morgantown in 3.5 hours, man, I was ecstatic. So, yeah, I've been to a lot of games since back in the early 70s, mid 70s. Let's see. Paul Gay says he went and seen Pat White play a bunch of times. Yeah, I did as well. Leonard, when's the last time you went to a West Virginia game, or have you been to any?
I've been to a good few. I've been to all the home games last season. First game I went to was the Black Diamond Trophy. West Virginia versus Virginia Tech in Morgantown last year.
So Hillbilly says he's in Van Leer, home of Loretta Lynn. He's in Van Leer. So I'm not sure where Van Leer is, to be honest with you. Now my wife's saying that's not far from us in Kentucky.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not sure.
Well,
it's not far from us in West Virginia? Yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
I got this is.
Are you from Sissonville? Are you from Sissonville? Are you from Paul Gee? You saying you're from Sissonville, right? Hillbilly Skeptic is from Van Leer, home of Loretta Lynn.
Just because I was one of the first 500 people to go to the spring game, I got this. No, not this. This is the wrong shirt. This is Mountaineer Maniac shirt. Where is it? It's here somewhere. There it is. Black Diamond Champions.
Yeah.
I hope they can make another one of these.
Yep, that's a nice shirt. I like it.
But for the foreseeable future, it's staying in Morgantown. Silas says can't get anyone.
Can't get anyone in here from the northern half. I'm up here. I'm up in Bridgeport. I'm
from the Eastern Panhandle, so I mean, does that count? I don't really think so.
I am actually just 35 minutes from Morgantown. So
Bridgeport ain't that far away from Morgantown. Joe, you should come over to visit sometime next semester. You should go to the spring game.
Okay, I'll do that.
You gotta try and get everyone from Golden Blue to go up to the spring game.
Hillbilly Skeptic says Northern West Virginia is all Marshall. No, they're not. The only Marshall is right down there in Huntington. That's it. About 3 streets in Huntington are Marshall fans. About 3 streets in Huntington. Uh,
I was gonna say
I
I've
was
never met a Marshall fan in real life. Never.
I was at Marshall. There was a fire there in some apartments called an Emmons. It was the Emmons apartments in Huntington. They had a big fire, and I was a director for the Red Cross, and so I went there to work these fires, and I wore Mountaineer stuff every single day, and I seen more Mountaineer fans than I did Marshall fans, and that was in Huntington. So. And West says Silver Spring, Maryland is not far from the Maryland D.C. line.
That's
Now,
true.
my wife and I used to live up. We had to go through Cumberland, Maryland, and then back down into West Virginia to get to our house in Romney, West Virginia. We had a home in
Hey,
Romney.
I know where that is. Ain't that
Yeah,
far?
that was a long time ago. That was 12, 13 years ago that we had a home up there. But yeah, we had one up there.
Silas says we need a Golden Blue Dude pit game tailgate. Take over the blue lot, boys. I agree.
Hey, that sounds like fun. I agree.
I would
Yeah.
do it. Even if I'm not in Morgantown next year for grad school, I'd still go. I can't. I'm not saying no to a blue lot tailgate.
I'll tell everybody something right now. You want to have some fun? Come to the Slob Olympics. Come to the Slob Olympics. I mean,
where is it?
You'll see different YouTubers here coming out with their Slob Olympic training videos here real soon, because the Slob Olympics are in March. So about January, you'll start seeing those Slob Olympic training videos and a lot more talk about the Slob Olympics. It's going to be down. It's in South Carolina. My goodness, can't remember the name of the place. I've already booked my room, and now it's expensive. I will say that for 2 nights down there was $600 for my room. And
I've only ever been
so it's a little expensive.
I've only ever been to South Carolina once. My sister's been a few times. That's because she went to Hilton Head with her boyfriend. Lucky.
But yeah, if you guys want to have some fun, I'm serious. Come to the Slob Olympics, and I may compete this year. I haven't decided yet. I never compete. I just go and watch them. But I may compete. Yeah. Now Golden Blue Dude won the Slob Olympics last year.
Yep. Defending champion.
Yeah, actually, Silas. Yeah, $600 for hotel for 2 nights, and that's not 5-star. No, the 5-star was $1,000. Where is the name of that place you've at? I'm trying to think. Isle of Palms, South Carolina is where we're going. Isle of Palms.
Would you take
Jacob,
Ryan Day if fired?
He said, would you take Ryan Day if fired? No, I would not take Ryan Day. He can't win big games, can he? I mean, he can't win big games. He needs to go on to the NFL.
Would you take Pat McAfee if he expressed interest in being a coach?
Pat McAfee, well, couldn't pay Pat McAfee enough. I think he makes more money in a day than most coaches make in a year. Man makes some money, let me tell you. So, no, I don't think Pat McAfee would ever come.
But I said if he expressed interest.
If he expressed interest, no. Nah. No experience there. Maybe a motivational speaker? Yes.
Plus a pro motivational
so let's go
speaker.
And get some score updates.
Con 2007.
Yeah, that's what we need is motivational speaker. And we might have won a few more games this year. Okay, let's do some score updates. Texas A&M still leading LSU 17-10. Southern Cal leading Notre Dame 10-7. Tennessee 21, Vanderbilt nothing. Kansas State 23, Kansas 7. So Kansas State's turning it on. UCF 28, South Florida 7. Some of these games, I don't know what's going on. Like Rutgers and Maryland, it's been telling me there's 1 minute 59 seconds left in that game since we started.
Rutgers and Maryland
that game's got to be over.
Hours ago.
Yeah, I don't know why it's telling me that. Syracuse, Boston College winning 10-3 at the half. Tulsa 13, Houston 24, Oklahoma 24, Texas Tech 6, Pittsburgh 21, Miami nothing. That's early in the second quarter. And then we're still waiting on Washington State, Air Force, San Diego State, BYU, and Stanford to all kick off.
Mm-hmm.
Krista says her prediction is somehow Ohio State will still sneak in the playoffs. I don't predict it. I don't think Ohio State will get the playoffs now.
Not after the way they lost. I mean, if it would have been a close game, maybe, but getting beat that by 20, was it 23 points? I don't think so. Not at home, not like
Now
that.
there is hope still, but it's not likely hope. Now the biggest likeliness next week for conference championships. Okay, so let's look at it. Georgia is not going to lose to LSU, right? So you can forget that. TCU is going to be playing Kansas State if Kansas State wins today, and it looks like they are. So TCU, Kansas State, that's going to be the biggest chance for a loss for TCU because Kansas State's playing much better. But TCU's already beat Kansas State once, so who knows? USC and whoever they play in the Pac-12 championship game, could USC lose? Sure, USC could lose today. So we'll have to see about that. I don't. There's a pathway for Ohio State to get in now, but it got a lot harder today. That's for sure.
That's good.
See who made $500,000 today?
Not
Who's
me.
that?
Jim Harbaugh got a bonus for beating Ohio State.
Huh.
Oh,
Lucky.
well,
So in the last 2 years, he made $1 million just in bonus. Well, he made $1 million just beating Ohio State 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong profession. Is what you're telling me, right?
Yeah.
I think we all.
Joey, why don't you throw your hat in the ring to be a coach?
Yeah, you don't want me to coach a team. Joey's an asshole, and we wouldn't have any players left. They would all transfer and leave. Believe me. 45 minutes from.
I've said this a couple weeks now.
You know what? I don't know if this would be a good hire or not, but
I've said this a couple weeks now, Joe. You've heard me. I think some of these teams, especially like West Virginia, Auburn. Now we know Nebraska got Matt Rule. I think some colleges need to start looking at the HBCU coaches down there.
Like Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I mean he's one, but there's a lot of really good coaches down there that deserve a chance.
Well, let's look at Joey McGuire for Texas Tech. They hired him out of the high school ranks. He's a high school coach in Texas for years, and now they're not setting the world on fire by any means, but Texas Tech's a lot better team with him than they've been in a while. So
Caleb Williams just ran it in for a touchdown. So
I know I've been missing a lot of chats. My fault, guys.
Yeah. You know who we should get to sponsor Golden Blue Dude, Joey?
Who's that?
Tudor's Biscuit World.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad sponsor. I haven't ever reached out to them. It's a good idea. I've been reaching out to a lot of like pepperoni roll companies. The problem with pepperoni roll companies is they want to do it. They're all willing to do it. They ain't willing to pay any money to do it. I mean, they don't make a lot of money.
I mean, why I say Tudor's Biscuit Roll is because it's basically the quintessentially West Virginian thing. I mean, the only places you got for Tudor's Biscuit World are in West Virginia and then places where a lot of West Virginians go.
Yeah, Tudor's Biscuit World, Little General.
Exactly.
Yeah. Poggy says he lives in St. Virginia about 1 hour and 30 minutes from Bristol, Tennessee, and about 1.5 hours from Bluefield. Can be in Charlotte in 3 hours. Well, I can be in Charlotte in 3 hours from Beckley.
I think Deion Sanders thing. I think what Deion Sanders should do, and I could see it happening, would be jumping up and going to Alabama with Nick Saban for a couple years, and then either take over Alabama or go from somewhere else from Alabama, but I think it would be a good place for him to go.
And let me say this to the chat now: if you know anybody like to sponsor Golden Blue, dude, have them reach out to me. My email is real easy. It's footballnewshour@gmail.com. So have them reach out to me if you know anybody. If you can hook us up together, set us up a meeting or something, whatever, I'd really appreciate it. I mean, we'd love it. And if you'll set us up something, hey, I'll give you a 3 months membership on the Patreon page or something for doing it for us. Be great. And really, according to how big of a sponsor they become, if they become a huge sponsor, you might get sponsorship or get the Patreon membership for a year. Hillbilly Septic says he don't think Prime could be in Saban's shadow. Yeah.
I think he would do a great job there.
Paul Gee says, I wish we had a Geno's Pizza where I live. I've never actually had Geno's, even up in Morgantown.
Oh, man, Geno's is good. I love Geno's.
I'm gonna have to, you know what? I'm gonna have to see if they got Geno's in Morgantown because if that, I'm going. I've been to the Serious Biscuit World in Morgantown many times.
I don't know if they've got a Geno's in Morgantown. I'm sure they do. If not, there's one here in Bridgeport, and Clarksburg has one. So
they got a bus from Morgantown to Clarksburg literally every day. Morgantown.
Paul says, how much would you charge? I tell you what, Paul, email me. I'll put my email down here in the chat for you. Email me, and I've got all the information I can send you.
Yeah, the closest one they got's down in Bridgeport.
And I had put a thing in the chat in the group in the community the other day. I put a thing in there saying I needed couple people to help me. Just a couple of days a week, about 10 minutes a day for a couple of hours a week or a couple of days a week. Not a big thing. It's not nothing hard. And so if anybody's interested in helping me, I've had a couple of people reach back out to me. I emailed them back and asked them to give me a call so we could talk, and they haven't called me. So maybe they changed their mind. So if anybody's interested, though, email me. If you're interested in helping me out, if you can give me 10 minutes a day for 2 days a week, I would really appreciate it.
What exactly does it entail, Joe?
So like I need some help, like putting our podcast in, because every time we do a live show, it's got to be downloaded and then put into our podcast. Mm-hmm. And it's easy to do. It's real simple to do. It's a simple free program that you can rip the sound out and just put it back into the podcast. It's something that's only a 10-minute job. My problem with doing it is I've got satellite internet. So it takes it quite a while to download and upload for me. So it turns into like a 3-hour job for me. And literally it takes about 10 minutes to do it if you got decent internet. So that's why I need help with it.
All right.
And I'd be happy to, anybody that wants to help me anytime. Hey, if you want to learn the ropes or something, it'd be great. Come on. I'll teach you a little bit about YouTube and how it works and what they look for, how to hit algorithms, how to build a channel. I'll be glad to do that. So I do a class. I can't get Starlink Hillbilly Septic. I don't have that option. Starlink isn't available where I'm at. But they just put in fiber optic. I've got good news on that. They just put in fiber optic cables. They ran them all the way up to my house. So I will be hooked up in the next couple of weeks with high speed, unlimited internet. My internet bill right now, guys, I'm being very serious here. I'm not telling you this so you'll feel bad for me or super chat me or anything like that. This is the truth. My internet bill runs almost $500 a month, $458 this month, because I have to buy so much data for these streams, and I do so much on YouTube that I do YouTube all day long from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. So, because as most of you know, I work with a lot of YouTubers. So Mark Rogers has got 24 channels that I've always got to be there and always be a part of. That's a big thing for me. Golden Blue Dude. I've always got to be here. Always got to be a part of it. I'm always there for Kuz's Corner. I'm always there for Mountaineer Paul. I've got a lot of channels that I help and stuff. So my internet bill runs $450 a month just for internet. That's it. So because I have to constantly buy data, I got to buy the 30 gigabytes cost me $40, and I got to buy 30 gigabytes nearly every 2 days.
Well, at least you'll be hooked up soon, Joe.
Yes. And my bill will go to $50 a month. That's what's great about it.
Finally. Yvette says, I like Tudor's breakfast.
She loves Tudor's.
All I gotta say is every time I go to Tudor's, same thing, chicken biscuit. That's it. That's all you need.
No.
Well, now I'm never a fan.
Texas Tech is coming back. Texas Tech's coming back against Oklahoma. They're at 20. Oklahoma's up 24-20, but Texas Tech is mounting comeback. USC scored right before half, 17-7, and then LSU just tied the game, about a 24-yard touchdown run. So 17-17 at Kyle Field. And if you want to hear the other ones, UCF 31, USF 7, Tennessee 21 zip over Vandy. Houston 24, San Antonio 20, Pitt 21, Miami 0, Kansas 14, Kansas State 30. Air Force just scored on San Diego State. Syracuse put 3 points up against Boston College just a minute ago. And that's about all I have right now.
LSU and Texas A&M tied at 17. I didn't hear you say that one.
Yeah. LSU just ran the ball for about. It looked like it was about a 23 or 24-yard touchdown run. So it's 17-17.
Yeah.
Hey, USF put some points on the board. Congratulations, Bulls fans. You have something. Whatever, 3 of you are probably watching this chat, which is all the USF fans in the world. UCF 31, USF 7, 9 minutes left in the third. But I'm looking at the Boston College Syracuse score. It's sad. It is sad.
Fine.
Yeah, what happened to Syracuse? Like
awful.
Syracuse, what was Syracuse? 7-0, 8-0?
Syracuse was like 6-0.
Was it 6 or 7?
They're 6-5 now.
Oh my god!
Bo Sacker says friggin' Oregon's collapse cost me money. Yeah, it did, Bo Sacker. Oh, I'm going to tell you all about this. This is honest to goodness truth. So my wife, Yvette, that's in the chat there, she every week she plays a parlay card. She loves to play parlay cards. So this week generally she does terrible at them, of course, but because parlays suck. But she generally will bet $50, $100 or something and take her a parlay card, which will always pay big money, right? Always pays huge money. So this week she took a 12-team parlay card, bet $50 on it. If she'd have won, she'd won $200,000. She lost one game today. One. On that parlay, the only thing it cost her. Which game was that, Yvette? Clemson. She took Clemson and South Carolina won. And so that's what cost her $200,000 on a $50 bet.
The rule of life.
Amazing.
The rule of life. If it's Clemson and South Carolina, always bet on Beamer ball, baby.
Yeah, Beamer ball all the way. But she don't ever ask me my advice. And that's the good thing about it, because she wins a lot. She wins a lot of her bets. And she never asks me for advice. She just bets. Like, she'll look at the team colors and she'll say, oh, I like this color better. And she'll choose them. And she does good. Hey, last week we had a real running bet in here when she was going to lose a game. Oregon and Ohio State, when they played last year, she was the only person that picked in our weekly challenge. She's the only one that picked Oregon to beat Ohio State, and she nearly got the score exactly right. So she won the money that week.
Well, I'm taking y'all to the casino, I guess.
Yeah, she's very good at gambling too.
Oh, now we're talking about
That's the
biscuits.
UAB won 37-27. So Leonard's saying UAB won 37-27 over Louisiana Tech.
Did they? Let's check here on ESPN. They did. Wasn't Louisiana Tech supposed like really, really good last year? Or am I misremembering? It was one of the Louisiana teams.
Fumble. Texas A&M recovered, running about for a touchdown. Texas A&M.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
LSU fumbled.
No.
Texas A&M recovered.
Just happened right now.
All I gotta say, good thing I didn't bet on.
All this means is that I mean that USC has got to win tonight because I don't want to hear nobody talk about Alabama making the playoffs.
My playoff picture currently: Georgia, TCU, Michigan, and okay, so Clemson lost, Alabama won, USC.
Yeah, it's got to be USC.
I don't think so.
They've got the best shot. I mean, they control their destiny. So, and with the way Caleb's playing right now, that dude's on fire.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be USC then. Seeing everything.
Yeah. If LSU loses tonight, then they're definitely out, and then you could slide Alabama out there. Ohio State is not gonna get looked at. I don't care.
I would say
not
they'll
after
get
what
looked
happened.
at, but they'll get passed up.
They'll get looked at, but that'll be a really quick look. Because nobody wants to see that team play Michigan again. Nobody wants to see them play Georgia. Hell, I wouldn't even want to see them play Texas Tech. Or not Texas Tech, TCU.
Yeah.
Not after they gambled that today.
Joey, people
Jason
are saying
Rollins
Yvette
says
should go
touchdown
for
Kansas.
biscuit recipe.
Yeah, Yvette makes good biscuits, and man, she makes us some good yeast rolls and everything.
Now I want some biscuits. Y'all got me hungry now. Thanks a lot.
Everybody skeptic says you can have Joey. I'll take Yvette and her biscuits. Yeah, she does. She does make some good biscuits.
Who else?
That's good.
Tulsa, Houston. Let's see who's winning. Houston's winning.
Let me tell you how good of a wife Yvette is. Let me tell you how good of a wife Yvette is. So the other night we're on a stream, a late stream, and I mean this is like 1:30 in the morning, and I'm hungry. We're just all sitting there talking and having fun and stuff. And I said, I'm getting hungry. I'm kind of hungry. My wife got up. She was in bed. She got up out of bed, went in the kitchen. I had no idea she was doing this. Come in here and brought me a T-bone steak and macaroni and cheese and a yeast roll at 1:30 in the morning. Went in there and cooked that for me. Amazing. That's how good of a wife
you are.
Got.
One lucky man, Joey.
I am. She's great. She's fantastic to me. And that's not like we're not on a honeymoon, guys. We've been married for 22 years. So
there and Cooper just launched just an incredible sequence there in the arc.
Dude, T-Bone and Mac, what the heck? J.K. Marshall. I know. If only I could find myself a wife like that. One day, hopefully.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's see. Let's look at something that we really. I don't know that we did it or not. I will go over final scores from today real quick with everybody in case you missed some scores and you want to hear some. Georgia beat Georgia Tech 36-14. Michigan took out Ohio State 45-23. TCU was all over Iowa State 62-14. Alabama 49, Auburn 27. South Carolina upsets Clemson 31-30. Oregon State upsets Oregon 38-34. Penn State took out Michigan State 35-16. Utah no trouble with Colorado 63-21. Kentucky took down Louisville 26-13. Western Kentucky beat Florida Atlantic 32-31. And I'm not going to go over the rest of the scores. They're just the scores that are not top 25. So, but anyway, if anybody wants to know the score or something, I
New
can look it up
Mexico
for you.
State 49, Liberty 14. Ouch.
Yeah, that was a big upset. I forgot about that one. That's a big upset.
James Madison 47, Coastal Carolina 7.
Yeah, I had James Madison today.
Madison. They got ranked in their first season as an FBS team.
Got to be tied.
Hillbilly Skeptic says smothered and covered. He must be talking about the Waffle House. That's the only thing I can figure. Smothered and covered. The Waffle House. And I believe he is. Yeah. He's talking about the Waffle House. And
Y'all
DK
are
Marshall
getting me
says,
hungry.
dude, T-Bone and Mike, what the hell?
Y'all are getting me hungry. Shaking my head.
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't eaten dinner yet. You got it sitting there beside of you.
No, it's 11 in the morning. I got lunch. I got that for lunch.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 11 in the morning there.
11:30 a.m. 11:23 a.m. But then on my flight back home in a month, I got to go to Germany. And that's going to be fun. 7 hours. Only thing is,
Shooter Text says K-State better win. We don't want UT in the Big 12 championship game. That would just suck. Yeah, it would.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, I don't want Texas in there. I'm gonna post the link to StreamYard again. There's the link in StreamYard if anybody wants to join in with us.
UT doesn't deserve to be in the fight. They don't even deserve to be third place in the Big 12. It sucks that they're there.
That's the thing about it. I had made a bet with Uncle Lou before the season. He told me that Texas would finish in the top half of the Big 12. And he said probably first, second, or third. And I said, no, they're going to finish fifth or worst. So we made a $20 bet. I said fifth or worst. And he took first 1 through 4. And look at, if they would have lost the other day, they would have finished fifth in the conference. And they ended up winning. So I lost my money. I lost my bet to Uncle Lou.
Well, win some, you lose some. Silas says, I want TCU to knock off Georgia, even though it's very unlikely. Same.
TCU is one of them teams. Like, you could look at TCU's last 5 games and say they could have lost that.
Yeah.
They are knocking out every team that is put in front of them. Well, yeah, but they find a way to win, and that's why we have to keep them in. Like, they obviously. I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked if they beat Georgia. I would not be shocked.
It would be funny. You see all those like salty Georgia fans on Twitter. Like, it was supposed to be our year for back-to-back national championships. Because they think, because if they get put up against TCU, it's going to be an automatic lock to the Natty. It's not.
I wouldn't want to play Texas. I wouldn't want to play them right now, man. And we might. It might be Michigan, Texas Christian.
TCU, Michigan. I would want TCU to win that one, just because.
I want Georgia. I want Georgia, and I want them now.
Too bad.
Well, I want Georgia. I want Georgia in about a month. I want Blake Corum to be healthy because I want him to back up what he said when he walked out of that stadium last year after getting our asses handed to us. He told the world as he was leaving the stadium, "We'll be back. We'll be back."
And so they are.
Now, somebody tell me something in the chat, and because y'all might remember this. The last time TCU and Kansas State played, Max Duggar didn't play, did he? Kansas State, Max Duggar was out of the game, wasn't he?
I don't
So he's
think they
back
played.
now.
I don't know that one.
So now he's back, and they'll have to play in the championship game if Kansas State wins today. So I'm that's going to be an interesting game, TCU and Kansas State, if that's what it is. Yeah, Kansas State knocked out Duggan. No, Kansas State, Duggan plays for Kansas State. He's the quarterback, right?
No, that's
Max
TCU's.
Duggan's quarterback.
How do y'all?
Yeah, Max Duggan's
How do
Who's
y'all feel
TCU's
about
quarterback?
TCU.
conference realignment?
Am I confused
Well, I
on my
can't wait.
quarterbacks here?
Yeah, he's TCU. I can't wait for conference realignment. Well,
Max Duggan's
it's gonna get.
TCU's quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So-
probably number one or he's number two for sure in the Heisman. Just
So
because
TCU beat
they're
him.
undefeated and the numbers he puts up are insane. He had
So Max
300.
Duggan but got knocked out of that game, and TCU still won. So now he's back. So I guess TCU may have a really good shot.
Yeah, I mean he's putting up video game numbers against teams right now. What did he do? I think he threw for 350 plus today, 3 touchdowns, and then he rushed one. I don't know how many touchdowns he ran for, if he ran for any, but I think he ran for 1 and threw for 3.
Yeah. Hey,
Martinez.
coaching update,
Adrian
y'all.
Martinez
Breaking
is their
news.
quarterback.
Breaking news.
Adrian Martinez.
Willie Taggart, head coach of Florida Atlantic, was fired after a 32-31 overtime loss to Western Kentucky.
Willie Taggart was?
Willie Taggart.
Yep.
He'll find a job pretty quick. There's a guy on the field right now for LSU. He got fucking smashed in the helmet to helmet. Now, well, he's sitting up, so he maybe just got his bell rung, but still. I think we all know with these helmet to helmet hits what it does to you in your future life, like the rest of your life.
So see, that brings me back to another thing. So today, West Virginia's quarterback, Garrett Green, got knocked out of the game, helmet to helmet contact. They reviewed it for targeting and didn't call targeting. I was okay with not calling targeting there, but at the same time, I wasn't okay with it because I've seen some West Virginia players get knocked out this year, get put out of a game for targeting for less than that. And that's where I think they got to do something about this targeting call. I mean, this was clearly helmet to helmet.
Too.
Yeah,
Big
just
12
clearly
referee.
helmet to helmet.
Yeah, there was during the game today, the Michigan-Ohio State game. I believe it was in the second half. Maybe it was the first half. I think it was in the first half. Whatever. It was. The ball was dead. The play was dead. It was this Ohio State player. I don't remember his name. 2 players were out of bounds. Ohio State player, Michigan player, like 5 yards out of bounds, and an Ohio State guy lowered his helmet. They were standing next to each other. He lowered his helmet and just smashed it into another Michigan player's helmet for no reason. Just standing there on the sidelines, walking out of bounds. Just smashed him in the head. And obviously Ryan Day was like, get him out. Get him out. Take him out now. I don't care. Get him out. And I saw that. Obviously, I'm a Michigan guy, so I was very upset. But I don't like to see.
Didn't that
It's a
also
rivalry. It's a rivalry game. It's a rivalry game. Yes, I get it. Push, shove, throw some, throw some shoulder pads into each other. Don't do some stupidness like that. Don't try to just blatantly hurt someone. That's just dumb.
I got two
First down
questions.
LSU.
Well, one question, one statement. First question, didn't that almost cause like a fight on the sidelines? Like in the out of bounds?
No, not that play.
Okay. And then the other one was a statement from FAU on the firing of Willie Taggart. It was a difficult decision, as we have tremendous respect for Willie Taggart. FAU Athletic Director Brian White said in a statement. He has represented FAU with class and character. However, and this is the part where I think this could be applied to Neil Brown. However, the lack of on-field success needed to be addressed as we look toward the future. True.
I don't think Willie Taggart's a bad coach.
No, it's because they finished like 5-7. Let me go back to Willie Taggart's. I'll actually pull up his record here during his.
Silas,
Well, now
Silas, I'll be honest with you. I'm rooting for Texas A&M. I'm rooting for Texas A&M to win this game, Silas. I really am.
Head coaching record.
I like chaos, and I love the LSU fans that say LSU should be in the playoffs when I don't think they belong. And this game might prove to them that they don't belong.
They didn't belong to get ranked above USC. First of all,
yeah,
that was the committee. The committee basically saying we want 2 SEC teams in the playoffs. That's what that was.
Florida Atlantic, during his time at Florida Atlantic, Willie Taggart had a 15-18 general record, 11-11 in conference.
Which is like overall coaching.
71-80.
Is fielded near the 15-yard line. Now a quick word from Verbo.
Dustin, I've muted you. You're gonna have to turn your thing down. You'll get me copyrighted.
But
I'm holding my phone in my hand, like I'm trying to. So I think the play or the whatever interference is coming in is coming through our talk.
Yeah,
But
you can hear the announcers. That's what they'll hit you on. Some announcers.
I keep muting myself whenever I'm not talking. So
you know what? I got a question. Do y'all think James Madison will be ranked again after thumping number 23 Coastal Carolina?
It's possible. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's possible.
I don't think it really matters.
Another number 25 as a treat.
Like they probably will, but it won't really matter. They're gonna get a good bowl game, so
they can't.
So Shooter says that Kansas State was going in. Shooter says Kansas State was going down the score.
The NCAA rule says teams transferring from the FCS to the FBS are ineligible for postseason play after 2 seasons.
Yep. Nope. Yeah. So I guess
Shooter is saying that Kansas State was going down the score and they fumbled and Kansas recovered, and they were probably just going to run the clock out till halftime. So Kansas State missed an opportunity there.
Do y'all think? Okay, Alan says the SEC wouldn't consider any Group of 5 schools now. The ACC probably Memphis and UConn.
Those are 2 decent teams. Memphis is a good team. UConn is a quality team.
They're bowl. Hold on. There we go. They're bowl eligible this year for the first time since 2015.
Yeah, but actually, I think
it's a weird thing to say that UConn is bowl eligible and West Virginia is not. That sounds like some real Big East stuff right there.
Well, you got to think about what conference they're playing in too. West Virginia would be undefeated if they played UConn schedule.
Well, I mean, yeah. You know what? I think we should go independent then.
41-yard line.
Yeah, the problem is you make a schedule like 5 years out. You don't know you don't know who's going to be good 5 years out from now.
No, of course not.
So
It's weird to say that Kansas is bowl eligible and WVU is not. Yes, that too. What I'm saying in terms of conference realignment, we need to get the boys back together. WVU, Pitt, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, Miami, UConn too.
Boston College.
Boston College.
Boston.
Everyone. USF. Why not? USF, you can come. Everyone. We need the Big East to come back together.
There's 23 seconds left in the third quarter. Texas A&M up 24-17, and they are driving. They are down to the 23-yard line. Shotgun formation.
USF 29. USF came back. Last time I checked, it was like 21-7, I think, for UCF.
So how this bowl thing works is, you have to win 6 games. If some reason, though, there's not eligible 6-win teams to fill all the bowls, they will take a 5-win team. But they do that by academics. So they look at the academic level of school and things and program, and they take them by that. So no, West Virginia will not be in a bowl. That's where I'm going with this.
Would the ACC consider UMass? Absolutely not.
USC is about to score another touchdown.
I think the next group of 5 teams that would be elevated would be teams like Memphis, San Diego State, maybe a Fresno State, possibly a Liberty, and maybe even an Appalachian State. I think that would be your next 5 that would come up. Possibly SMU, possibly. I know there's been a lot of talk, too, about Rice, just mainly for academics and stuff. But
what FCS teams would Group of 5 conferences consider when expanding, if they do in the future? Honestly, I think the Sun Belt would consider Jacksonville State.
I agree.
With what Rich Rod's doing down there.
I think the ultimate goal. Oops, what was that? The goal here with this conference realignment stuff is they're trying to condense the conferences into a solid 4 conferences, not 5. They want 4. And then they'll look at these other like Sun Belt, MAC, SWAT,
Who's going to take a team from the MAC? Let's be real.
Who?
And Shooter, I agree. Shooter, I agree with you.
Oh, wait, hold on. Joey, apparently I spoke too soon. Jacksonville State has accepted an invitation to join Conference USA beginning with the 2023 season.
Touchdown, USC.
Yeah. Wow.
How about that?
Okay.
Touchdown USC, you said?
Yep, touchdown USC.
So they're going to join Conference USA.
Why am I not surprised? Conference USA would do that. I mean, they bled Marshall, Old Dominion, and...
All right, so here's what I think about this conference realignment stuff. I think we may be done, with the exception of possibly the Pac-12 adding a couple of G5 schools, like maybe San Diego State, Fresno State.
Yeah.
I think other conferences may be done as far as expanding and realigning for now, because contracts are being written. These football contracts are being written. Big 12 agreed on a contract already. I don't see that being changed right away. SEC, Big 10, they've agreed on a contract. ACC stuck in a contract. Pac-12 is going to have to agree on one here in a few weeks. So I don't see any more conference realignment happening. The only reason I say the Pac-12 is because they haven't signed the TV contract yet, so they might take on.
You're gonna get some. You're gonna get 2. Yeah, and I agree with those teams that you picked, Joey. They're gonna join the Pac-12.
Yeah.
And then the Big 10's done. We don't need no more teams. Not now. We've got We're gonna be right up there, and then the SEC. I don't think they're gonna take any more teams.
No.
Now,
So you're
as
looking
far
at
as
the
now
ACC and
that's
the Big 10 or Big
that's
12.
talking football wise. That's talking football wise. I'm not talking basketball because I know Gonzaga's been in talks with the Big 12 about basketball and stuff like that. That's fine. They don't have a football program. They want to come in for basketball. That's different. So, touchdown, Texas A&M. Texas A&M
Oh, yeah.
whooping up on LSU.
Another team, FCS team that I think could be called up to the FBS. North Dakota State. North Dakota State.
Silas says.
Good.
Silas says Tulsa just took the lead on Houston. Yes, love it. That's where I put my money with Tulsa. I want to upset there. And then he says, how hot is Holgerson's seat? Yeah, Holgerson's got a hot seat.
A lot. North Dakota State's the MAC, maybe. I don't think North Dakota State would go to the MAC. I think.
And Allen says, if WVU wants to get group of 5 coaches, spend group of 5 money, they should just join the Sun Belt or AC. Well, I think Neil Brown's was, I probably saw it coming in 2019. Neil Brown was probably the top hire that year. I mean, seriously. So you don't know what you're going to get until you get them. But we have to have some assistant coaches, that's for sure. I'm sorry, Marauding Mountaineer. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I didn't say anything. I was yawning.
Tulsa 27, Houston 24. Come on, Tulsa. How much time's left in that game, Leonard? I think that game didn't kick off until like 8, though. That's probably got a while to go.
If only it was 1 minute left in the fourth.
So Texas A&M's up 31-17 over LSU. Over LSU.
13 minutes in the according to the ESPN, what I'm checking. 13 minutes left in the third. Tulsa leads by 3.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
I love it. I love it. Come on, Texas A&M.
Who else?
What
other good team would there be?
And I know we've got some LSU fans that come in here and they don't like it because, like, Nightbot was saying some stuff and they didn't like that and things. And they just like to talk smack. And I've told them, hey, you're a 2-loss team. You don't deserve to be ranked where you're ranked right now, period. Yeah, I would have LSU back at 10th. The only reason they've done that is because LSU's in the SEC and getting to play for the SEC championship. And guess what? They're going to go into the SEC championship with another loss.
Looks like it. Yeah, and I told you why they put them there. They want to put it. They want to have another 2 SEC.
Uh-huh.
Well,
if LSU loses today, the committee won't have a choice. They'll
Sam Houston State's also joining the conference too. So, okay.
No, I hope USC wins. I really, really want to see a Pac-12, and I want to see UCLA or USC win the Pac-12. I want Michigan to win out, obviously, and win the Big Ten. I want Georgia to win out and take the SEC, and I want TCU to win out. So we've got 4 different conferences in the playoff. I don't want to see these rematches anymore. I don't want to see a Georgia-Alabama game again. I don't want to see a Michigan-Ohio State again. I want to have 4 legit different teams.
Hey, how's it going, Joey?
Doing good, man.
I'm not going to be able to stay real long, but yeah, just wanted to join in with you guys. Quite a bit of stuff going on today.
Yeah, like some good upsets, some good football games, some lopsided football games. And LSU is scrambling around. He's gonna make a first down. No, he didn't. That's a flag too, and now the quarterback's hurt. Looks like Daniels just got hurt for LSU. Daniels is down. Shooter.
Well,
Shooter's
I
not letting
might
me let you back
actually.
in, man. It's saying your device isn't connected. You might
I'm
have
gonna
to
probably
really.
go eat some lunch because I'm starving.
All right, man.
All that biscuit talk's making me
Thanks
too
for
hungry.
coming in.
I gotta eat. All right. If I can join
Thanks
back
for coming
later, I'll
in.
join back later. But if not, I'll see y'all later. Have a nice one.
All right.
Later, man.
That sounds good.
Oh yeah.
That sounds
Well,
good.
before I leave, how was Thanksgiving, Joey?
Oh, it was great, man. We were supposed to. My son was supposed to come, and with his wife and their 3 kids, and he got put on call at his job, so he couldn't come. But my wife cooked us a big old spread anyway, and it was me and her. So the dogs got to eat good. I eat good. So it was great.
I got to have Thanksgiving over here, so all's well ends well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, man. We'll go eat your dinner, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.
What I just missed?
And
What just happened in Texas A&M LSU? What just happened? How's it 31-17?
Quarterback got hurt. LSU's quarterback got hurt.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, how did he just go 31-17?
Was that the scoop and score?
Scoop and score, yeah. Texas A&M picked up that fumble and scored.
Well, I saw that. It was just 20.
Yeah, that's what made it.
It was. Oh, did they have another scoop and score?
I just saw one.
No, that's the same one. That's the only one.
Okay.
So Texas, Shooter, what did you think about the TCU game today? I mean, they look like a team ready to win the conference.
Well, I mean, when you have the number 1 team in the conference playing the absolute worst team in the conference, you kind of expect a blowout, and that's what we got. I mean, they look like they're CFP quality team, in my opinion. So, TCU is real, and I think people.
Notre Dame just scored.
Yeah,
they might take somebody by surprise in the playoffs. They might play their way into a championship game just because they'll take somebody by surprise.
The committee likes to rank SEC. So if Georgia wins out, Georgia gets number 1. Michigan probably gets number 2. So I would like to see TCU versus Michigan. And then that probably leaves, I guess, USC versus Georgia. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that TCU versus Michigan or TCU versus USC, either one of those, the Horned Frogs could win them. TCU versus Georgia, I don't know, man. That's just such a powerhouse team. That'd be a tough one.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I really don't. I don't think so.
I don't see it happening either, but I don't think I could say I'd be surprised at this point.
Yeah. TCU, if they had the old Patterson defense, I would say they would, they'd probably fare better. But, man, that Georgia team is just rock solid. And I don't know. We'll see. I mean, here's the thing. I think TCU will put up a hell of a fight. And if they lose, it'll be, a 1-possession game, no matter who they play, whether it's Georgia, Michigan, or USC. But I think if it's USC, I think TCU might win that game. So I would love to see that one too.
Watching the game with That's why I want to see. I want to see it USC. Yeah, I was gonna. Sorry. I want to see a USC, TCU, Michigan, Georgia playoff.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be good. Get all 4 of them in there. Yeah.
Leonard says Tennessee 35, Vanderbilt nothing.
Yeah, Tennessee fans are out. They're not going to get in the college playoffs. They go Sugar Bowl probably.
Especially like their quarterback Hooker being picked out. That's.
It really says if A&M beats LSU and Notre Dame comes back, could Bama get a playoff spot? If A&M beats LSU, period, Bama could probably get close to a playoff spot, and then depending on what happens next week, possibly get into playoffs because they're going to want 2 SEC teams in. Bottom line, they are, and so yeah, there's a chance for that.
Yeah, that's why I want USC to win out, TCU to win out, Michigan to win out, Georgia to win out. There we go. That's it.
Yeah. Well, honestly, K-State has got to beat this. They've got to beat the Jayhawks because I just do not want to see that orange in Jerry's world. I do not want to see that. I mean, they would lose anyway, but I just don't want them to get there. You know, I'm done with those guys. Yeah, I hated losing to them yesterday. That sucked.
Yeah,
Man.
I was hoping. I was pulling for you guys. Believe me, I was.
We've
I
had
can't-
a
I can't stand it.
horrible end of the year here. 3 in a row, just lost them all. That sucked. But man, what a crazy,
So it's,
crazy year in the Big 12.
So, is there any talk down there about Dave Aranda?
Yeah, no. I mean, after what he did last year, no. I mean, you know, you got to look at the fact that almost all of our losses were one possession losses, and we were in almost every game. So,
Yeah.
you know, it really comes down to quarterback play, and I don't know what happened to Blake Shapen, but he just did not play well this year and made way too many mistakes. You know, they were costly. I mean, this last game with Texas, you know, we were looking like we were going to drive down the field, score again, and then he throws an interception, and that pretty much was the end of the game. Fourth quarter interception wiped us out. You know, the TCU game, if he had just thrown to Ben Sims and gotten that first down, that was it. We take a knee, we win the game, game over. But he tried to tuck it and run it, and yeah, there we go. We lost that one too. So the one thing I could really say about the coach is that I really wish he would have tried the backup quarterback when it was so clear that Blake is just having a bad year. And but he didn't, and he won't. And whatever. It is what it is. So
But you know, the same way at West Virginia, we spent forever with JT Daniels in there and wasn't moving the ball, couldn't do anything. Finally, they make a change and go with Garrett Green, and we start winning a couple of games. You know, I mean, why wasn't he in the whole year? Now they say he wasn't ready. Well, okay, he's not going to get ready sitting on the bench like that. You got to put him in a game. They finally put him in a game, and then he proves them wrong. You know, he's looked pretty good. He got knocked out today. Nico Marchio comes in and wins the game for us today. Nico Marchio, you know, he's a freshman, our freshman phenomenon. He's supposed to be the future of West Virginia, you know, recruited highly by a lot of teams, and we got him. He looked like it today. I mean, he's a good quarterback. So
that's the thing. Why not try it? What do you have to lose? And that's the part that just drives me nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, what you're saying there with Baylor might be one of these, one of your, what's your guys' record?
6-6.
Okay, so, but you guys, you've been in five of those games, you were within a score.
Yeah.
So you could be the best 6-6 team out there. Obviously, you probably are the best 6-6 team out there.
I don't know, man. I want to think yes, we are, but God, it just. I mean, honestly, if we just made the change, I would love to see our backup quarterback get a shot, and I think it could make a difference, you know. But they won't do it. So I don't know. It's one of those things. We could win every one of these games. We could lose every one of these games. Who knows what the bowl game's going to look like? I don't know who we're going to play.
Who's your backup quarterback? Is he a freshman?
No, he's a redshirt freshman or a redshirt sophomore. I think he's redshirt freshman. Yeah, he was there last year, and he didn't get a lot of play time last year. You know, 1 or 2 snaps here and there, but he's got a cannon for an arm, and he's a beast. And the one time they put him in this year, they put him in when it was 1st and goal, and he ran 2 or 3 plays and punched it into the end zone. And it was kind of a shock because the quarterback wasn't injured. You know, Blake Shapen was not injured. Oh, Oklahoma just scored. Dadgummit.
Well, I tell you what, Texas A&M
Dude,
is just
Texas
absolutely
Tech.
all over LSU. They just
Yeah, they're
completed a
making.
long pass, a huge pass. Man. So Silas is asking me if I've heard anything about JT Daniels. I haven't heard a thing. He was there. He was on the sidelines. They didn't play him. They haven't played him for a couple weeks now. So I think he's injured, and they're not disclosing it. Maybe he's planning on coming back next year and not be injured, and maybe they're hoping to,
Oh my
he wins the
God.
starting job, or he's hoping to win the starting job.
Joey, I'm
But
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, though, but USC, Caleb Williams. Oh my God. He just did. Oh my God. You gotta see what he just did. I can't even put this into words. Just, oh my God.
Yeah.
he's a good quarterback.
He just
Well, Texas A&M down in scoring position again.
Caleb's gonna win the Heisman. If he keeps this up, holy shit. What the
Yeah, he's probably the front runner for the Heisman.
he just he had his jersey. Somebody had his jersey strung out for a loss. He spun out of that, ran through three tackles, got through that, and then ran around another. Anyway, ran for 20 yards on a dead play. The play was broken up from the beginning. He went to hand it off, and two players were right there in the backfield to meet him. Two of his own players were in the backfield to meet him to hand the ball off to. And then he acted like he was going to hand it off again. And then he spun around. Somebody from Notre Dame grabbed his jersey, held him. He got loose, ran all the way from one side of the field to the other side of the field for about 20 yards and got a first down. And now it's 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, LSU, their defense must have just packed their suitcases and left, because Texas A&M is running all over them, throwing all over them, doing whatever they want to against them. And, I mean, it looks like a junior high team playing a college team out there right now. Texas A&M is just all over LSU. So,
Rick and
I'm going to have to end this stream. I don't have a choice. I'm going to have to end this stream. I got a couple things I've got to get done. I was kind of hoping some of these games would be done by 10 o'clock, but they're not finishing up. So I'm going to have to get off here, guys. Y'all got any last words for us?
I just got a quick question for you, Joey. Who do you think is going to be the new coach? You might have already talked about that, but West Virginia?
Well, I don't think we're going to change coaches. I think that Neil Brown's going to be back. I don't think he's going to be fired. So
wow. Okay.
I mean,
that's different.
I don't see him being fired. That they're going to let the athletic director hire the new coach, and that's going to be it. And I don't think that new athletic director is going to come in and right away make any major changes. I think he's going to evaluate things, give Neil a little bit of time.
Well, the one comment I'll make on coaching is I was really surprised that Matt Rule took the job at Nebraska, because I don't think that's a very good setup for anybody. And I kind of thought he would try to go for Auburn or something else, or maybe just be work at ESPN for a few years and bide his time. But yeah, Matt Rule in Nebraska, that was kind of a shocker to me. I really didn't see that.
Well, if you think about it, Matt Rule likes a challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, his last 2 coaching jobs in college have been a challenge, and Nebraska's going to be a challenge. So
it just turned into a lot bigger challenge now with UCLA and USC coming to the Big Ten. So
yeah. And when he was at Baylor, Baylor had a ton of talent on the table when he got there. No recruits, but he still had KD Cannon and a bunch of other highly qualified guys. So, but Nebraska, I don't know Nebraska has that much talent right now, because Frost really kind of blew that place up. So I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah, you're right. He does like a challenge, and man, he's got one. Anyway,
You gotta remember too,
Yeah.
the transfer portal, man. With this, the transfer portal is somewhat brand new
yeah.
thing in college football right now. So you could look USC last year. Look at what they were last year, and look where they are now because of the transfer portal.
Well, and Matt Rule has no experience in the transfer portal with the new transfer portal because he was already gone. So that'll be another challenge for him is, does he navigate that? Oh, and also his whole recruiting staff is gone. He had a lot of really good guys in his recruiting staff, and a lot of them are at Texas Tech. A few of them are still at Baylor. But, he's not going to get those guys back, I don't think. So, anyway, I know you got to run. I got to run too. But, yeah, we'll see how this plays out, man. I'll catch you guys later.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Shooter. Dustin, you got any final words for everybody?
Yeah, great win by Michigan. Back to back, it feels great. I was literally in tears after the game, and let's take it one game at a time. We gotta beat Purdue next week, and then let's heal up. And I really want to see Michigan and Georgia. I want Blake Corum to answer up to that because he said we'll be back. Looks like we might be back. So
hold on a minute there, Dustin. Before you leave, Dustin, don't just pop out. Let me end the stream, and I need to ask you a question. So everybody in the chat, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming in. Any super chats? If I missed any, I apologize. I don't believe I did, but thanks everybody for super chats. Thanks for your support. Golden Voodoo will be back with you guys. What is today? Today is Saturday, so they'll be back with you Monday because I'll do a show tomorrow at 4:00. And I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. We're gonna talk some college football, but we may play a little bit of trivia for some prizes. So if anybody wants to play a little bit of trivia for some prizes, come in here and we ain't gonna spend the whole hour playing trivia, but we'll play a game here and there and let you challenge somebody, and the winner can get a prize or something. Because I've got some nice prizes to give away. Everybody, thanks for being here. Y'all have a good night. Happy football the rest of the night. Good luck to your teams. We'll see you tomorrow. 4:00.